guys, welcome to Back in Digital Format for Ed Fables.
I hate it.
Yeah, it was.
I liked it when you were here.
It's kind of cool, though.
The vibes were better. The chemistry was better.
Well, we don't know that. We
Get you
haven't
a beer.
even done the fucking episode yet, but it was cool because when you went to go get a beer, I was like, I know the exact path he's taking to go get that beer, and I can probably count down perfectly to when he'll be back, which is a pleasure.
It is kind of, honestly, like, not to suck my own dick or anything, but the setup down here is perfect for what I do for a living. I got the bathroom right here.
Very jealous.
I got the little mini fridge.
Coming home to my, what would I call this? A piece of shit. A piece of a shithole. I'm just kidding. This place is beautiful.
Not even a whole shithole.
No,
It's just a fucking pie slice.
It sucks, and I hate it, and the weather's worse. But your
air mattress is still here, dude. It's still blown up.
That's great.
I still have Madeline's funny little baby picture hanging over right where you were sleeping.
Creepy little setup, but yeah, I swear to God, that place. I don't even believe in ghosts, but there's like a haunted element of the noises that start appearing at like 3 a.m. down there. And I know there's the ashes of like multiple people. And like if I were a like ghostly,
and a pig.
Yeah, and a pig. Like I was hearing like squealing noises, and then I heard someone go, "And that's the ghost of Sam's mom, not the pig." And then there was this big battle, big ghost battle. Yeah.
And then you heard an old lady with a smoker's voice go, "Give me a Bud Light while you're in the kitchen, honey."
Yeah,
that's my mom's ghost. Yeah.
And then really, really scary ghost, the one that was there already. Yeah. It was like a Nosferatu type. It was just like.
Also, there in the garage, there is like a little dungeon area.
Great.
That I never brought you to it. No, there's like a little half door that's in the garage.
Why wouldn't you take me? I would love to go in a dungeon.
I told you about it. I forgot to. I forgot to bring you there. But when you go down there, there's like access to basically the in-between crawl space between this floor and the main floor. Mm-hmm. And I'm 90% sure like a mouse or something has gotten up there at some point, because I've been in here like editing at one night, and then I just heard like right above me on the drywall.
This was the sounds of distinctly a pig squealing, a woman crying, and a cigarette, being smoked. And I don't want to jump ahead, but a mouse, I have a really natural segue into my bullet point number 8. Actually, my last one I wrote. We don't have to start with this.
So natural.
But this is a natural bullet point number 8 on this piece of paper I wrote on. This is a natural segue. Mice in the house, explode them? Question mark. I've been dealing with a mouse issue lately, and I do have a 1800s late. It's basically a 1900s mallet. I've been thinking about employing, or maybe the stray cat army I've been feeding. But really, I've just got this mouse trap situation going on where. Did I talk about this on the last podcast? The mice come in, we catch them, and then my roommate takes them down the road and then just releases them into a bush in our neighbor's yard. And I'm like, that's fucked up. But also, like, he was like, well, you want to drive them to the park? I'm like, no, not like the funniest thing he said to me, he's going to hear.
Nobody wants to kill him?
No, I wouldn't kill a mouse. I mean, I
would jump at the opportunity.
I got this mousetrap that when they walk in there, it starts playing relaxing jazz, and it's really nice. Oh. And then a big wheel of cheese rolls out, and then a girl mouse comes out, and it blows them. But no, when I told my mom about the mousetraps too, I was like, yeah, I got some mousetraps. She's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, and they like walk in and basically like, bam, guillotines their head right off and then blows their body up. And she was like, oh my God, like of course not. No, like it's like the nice mousetrap, like it just fucking traps them, But we are just releasing it. And the funniest thing my roommate said, he's gonna watch this episode too. He's 10 feet away right now, but he's like, they're not gonna make it back to the house. Like, mice are like, they can never even make it through those mazes or whatever. I'm like, that's like the number one thing a mouse is like good at, right? Is like going through, like it's isn't it like an impressive feat that mice can go through mazes to get cheese? Like for about a week.
Yeah, that's what they're known for.
I know, but it was just so funny the way he said it. He was like, like what, they can't even go through mazes. Like they're not gonna make it back home. I think for a week straight, every mouse who released just like walked straight back home.
Probably jumped in his tailpipe of his car.
Well, we're not even driving. We just walk them down, and you just like open it up, and they just hop out. And they've all been. I've been thinking about tagging them or something. That way we know.
Yeah,
but
paint them.
Now I've been taking them to like an abandoned little like water park area. But they are pretty cute, you know. They're these cute little mice. They're not like rats or anything, and they kind of look like Pip. I've got a couple pictures too, because
they are cute.
When you look at a corgi,
yeah.
you're like, that's a little rat killing dog, you know, like a terrier or something. But they're actually, as I've said a trillion times, they're actually not killers. They're what's that?
Lovers.
No, I'm so
fornicators of rats.
I'm so out of my mind right now. They're like a. I want to say hoarder, but it's a word, herder. Jesus Christ. They're herding animals. So they just kind of, you know, like trap the mouse in a corner, and then he wouldn't kill it, which is kind of why I would like to get a cat. But having mice for the first time, this is disgusting too, because like we like to think like we keep a pretty clean home. You know, like people come over like, oh, boy house. What? Oh, my God. Like, this place is beautiful. You know, they come in here. They love the antiques. They love the art. They love, you know, this kind of like situation my roommate and I have going on where we're just two friends that have kept this house. And
clean house, two dudes living together.
And they love the situation of it. And now, like when I really started looking for like where are these mice even coming from, you find like little mouse homes everywhere. Like we cleaned out like multiple closets and like tucked in the corner. You never would even notice a trace of them until someone was like, I think I saw a mouse. I thought I saw a mouse in your house. And now like I think we've pretty much, because it's been like a week now with not a single mouse cut. Like I think we've eradicated them. But
how old is your house?
We caught like 10 mice plus. Our house is like, I don't know. It looks like the 40s.
Ooh, you got that like rock wool insulation up in the attic. I bet they fucking love that stuff, dude.
Oh, dude, the attic is probably like a fucking just a mountain of mice.
It looks like Ratatouille up there.
But I don't.
You're just hanging out having a banquet.
That's a little bit like. See no evil here. And I know that's not how that's used at all. Yeah. But a little bit like I can't see that evil. You know, out of sight, out of mind is what I meant. But I don't care if they're in the attic.
You know what? You just work on sealing up any way they can get to your living area, and then let them forfeit the attic.
That's
live
exactly.
Up there. Hang out up there. That's fine with me.
When I was a kid and I had the basement room at my dad's, spiders basically owned half the room. And you know, I said, let them have it. I don't like going over
Harry
there.
Potter.
Yeah, I don't like going over there anyway because it's a creepy area in the basement. Why would I start killing I was also like pretty insane about like if I kill a spider, they're probably all gonna know. You know, like
they'll know.
They'll be like, I'm gonna now kill that kid. So I was like, I'll just let
crawl in his mouth while he's sleeping.
I'll just let 1,000 spiders live all around me, but as long as I don't hurt one, they'll never hurt me.
He's a gentle giant.
I got sent to the hospital a bunch, really bad. Actually lost this finger right here from a big spider bite. It was a wolf king spider. But no, yeah, I'm very okay with like they can have that area. They can have our neighbor's house. Like that's fine with me. Just let me have this place.
When I was living with my dad, I got kicked out for a summer when I was like early
Shocker.
Teens. And
bastard kid is just probably did something awful.
I had to go live with my dad, who was you know, my parents had gotten divorced, so he was just a bachelor at the time. And I was playing Rainbow Six Vegas at like 3 a.m.
One or two.
Probably at this time 2.
So they're both really good games.
They're both awesome, yeah. And I saw at the corner of my eye just something go like skittered across the kitchen floor, and I was like, Dad, I just saw the biggest fucking rat ever. You have a rat. And he's like, was it a mouse or a rat? I'm like, it was huge. It was just peripheral vision. I didn't actually see it. And so he got a rat trap, which is just a mouse trap, but with like a big steel bar. Like it's hard to like crank it back. that poor little tiny mouse.
Dude, your hyperbole caused the mouse to be obliterated. I hope you're
this
okay
little
with that.
tiny mouse.
To put one little foot down.
It was so cute. He stepped on it, and this fucking rat trap cleft him in twain. And his head got shot off of his body like a champagne cork across the fucking kitchen floor. And it was horrific because there was like literally, it was like a Kill Bill movie. There was like a blood trail and everything. I was like, holy fuck. Yeah. He got
You think this is a rat? You think this is a rat, you little bastard?
Dad was like, my dad saw it and was like, what the fuck, dude? This is the furthest thing from a rat I've ever seen. It was a child. It was a child.
Still pink around, cute, around the feet. Oh my god. I've definitely talked about this before, but I just recently found out a new development that I know I've never talked about. Where when I was a little kid, actually maybe I haven't talked about this, but my mom, when she was building on to like the house that she still lives at, one time she like opened up a cabinet and there was a mouse caught in a coffee pot, and she was like, oh my god, like Sam, come look. And we were both like, ah, like it was just, it's like a little cartoon, like it was just stuck in there and like looked so cute. And I went through like, this isn't autism, but like I would name every animal and every insect Zumi for some reason. Like I just named I'm like, that's Zumi, that's Zumi, that's, I don't know what that was, but I was like, mouse, Zumi, mouse. And
mine was Sparky.
Yeah,
I had multiple Sparkies.
We've definitely talked about this element before.
Yeah.
Because every kid's got one,
Yeah.
Not a sign of anything. It's just a boyhood thing.
We're normal. We're just a couple normal guys.
It's just boyhood. And and then manhood hit me pretty soon because my mom was like, we don't have a mouse problem. Like we had a horrible mouse problem. Like right after that, we realized like, holy shit, like one mouse, there's never just one mouse, It's like, this is the sign of like, this is their messenger, and now there's like 100 mice.
You caught a scout.
Yeah, scout party, and so we sent its head back to its king. My mom was like, gave me this big lecture because my mom's so fucking hippie and all this stuff. And was like, all right, we're gonna catch them in like these safe traps, and then we're gonna take them to the park, and she caught like 2 that way. And then one night she just left the dishes to soak, and she went down there the next day and said it was like a horror movie where like the floating dead bodies like turn over right when the camera like pans to it. Like there was just like 10 dead mice in there where they had all drowned, like just going into the,
trying to get casserole bits off the fucking dishes.
And we were both like, oh my god, like, it's like this war scene. My mom spent all day being like, well, like we're gonna give them a little funeral and a burial, and you put them in the trash can, but like in a box, and was like, all right, like they're gonna go to whatever, heaven or some shit. And then the next day, my dogs got into the trash bag and ripped it off and just scattered the dead mice all over the front porch. And I went out there and was like, oh my god, like I don't even remember this at all, but my mom was like, I ran into her room, was like, oh my god, and the dogs had just ripped them all apart and just scattered their little bloated corpses everywhere. And my mom's like, oh well, their like spirit is still in heaven, but their physical body. And I was just like tormented from that or something. I don't remember it really, but I think it's funny. Just like little kid, like every step where she tried to be like, oh, we're gonna be nice to the mice, like they got the worst fate. They were drowned and then ripped apart and then eaten. And then I experimented on the survivors, trying to create a mouse that could survive water.
Did you see that those Siamese twin ladies got married?
Yeah, and I'm jealous as fuck.
Did you see that I guess
wait, let me look at these questions.
Yeah, both they got married. Those Siamese twin ladies, they're conjoined.
Yes, is this real? Yes, I go down on it. Yes, we bounce on it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so these ladies, if you haven't seen this, for the audience,
yeah,
it's a Siamese twins
it's like
that are
Matt Damon movie.
Yeah,
where
they
he's
have two
conjoined
heads,
twins.
but then they share like shoulders and body from there on down. Like they're just wide at the head, and then they have two heads, but they're completely autonomous mentally. And then everything below the neck they share. And I think they might actually have more than one set of lungs or something like that. I saw something on, and they're like teachers or something like that. But they recently got married. One of them got married to a dude, and apparently there was a lot of questions. And so she was like, you know what, I'm going to clear some things up. And so she tweeted, because everyone's been asking, we're just going to tell you, yes, I have sex with my husband. Yes, I go down on him. Yes, my sister Brittany is there. Yes, my sister and I orgasm as one. But when I sleep with my husband, she's usually reading a book or listening to true crime podcasts. So she just puts the pleasure out of her mind. That is the most insane. That actually raises more questions than resolves them, I think. How do you, with your shit, if you have two heads that close to each other, how the hell is she blowing this dude and the other sister's just like,
you just put a pillow over her face or something.
The bandana over her head, the earmuffs.
Just a green screen hoodie over.
Yeah.
Okay,
that is the most insane relationship. Me and Abby sat there and asked questions. Like, there's no way if she's sitting there, if she also gets an orgasm, that the other sister's actually reading a book.
Smut books about porn and imagining that she's getting railed by some detective. You know, she's probably she's probably getting a pretty good deal out of this, because I'm assuming she never has to. When it says yes, I go down on him, like her head is just like slapping the balls or something, while her sister is sucking him. And that is more curious, because that'd be harder to ignore.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like one of those things where it seems very fortunate that they found, one of them's found someone.
Yeah.
Because
what if the other sister wants to get married? And then the guy's like, oh, fuck, you're just going to bring this random dude in?
What, he's going to bang my wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets super protective of that.
Yeah.
You're both mine.
There was one comment that was like, sis, it's my turn to use the pussy, which is fucking insane. They just have one pussy.
Dude, it's one of those conditions.
Hey, sis, we're going to try anal this time.
Where you're just like so glad you don't have it, and like
have that issue.
You have to have some form of empathy or sympathy or whatever, okay? Or horniness, whatever you get when you look at these people. But just like, you know, I'm happy for them. I would definitely. Every one of my questions is for the sister that's not married. A lot of.
That's the every bit of every question, everything I want to talk to about these.
I've
two.
got to talk to the sister, because I've got a couple. It's none of my business, but I've got a lot of questions, and I want them fucking answered, because I don't understand. And I love their two heads are better.
Yeah.
Like, and do you think this guy is just like, and this is where it's like, now I'm just being rude, because of course he just loves his wife or her, but do you think he's just like this really nice guy, where he's like, I don't care that you've got this sister attached to you, or is he some sort of pervert where he's like, I'm gonna bang both these chicks, and two heads are better, and they're both gonna be sucking and bouncing?
Yeah.
Or is he just like, you know?
And the fact that she doesn't like him, he probably likes it even more. He's gross to me now. He's sickening.
Yeah, he's class A pervert. Okay.
Yeah.
Get this guy, internet. Get this guy. No, he could just be a totally cool dude. He looks, and this is also awful to say, but he looks more normal than you'd expect. But
no,
also,
he looks like a guy. He's the Sam type.
Okay, I was gonna say, you better be careful what you say here.
Yeah. No, he looked like there's like that mass shooter / Reddit moderator / probably a pedophile visual type. And unfortunately, I'm lumped into that.
You've got all those.
I'm none of those
I've only got half those, but I'm also none of them.
I'm none of those. But he's just like, you know, classically unattractive guy with glasses. Basically, he's tall though. He's a tall guy.
Well,
unless she's like
how tall are
incredibly
they?
short.
Like 10 feet tall, or
I don't know. He looks
do
huge.
they count their height? It's separate. Like how tall? Do they add them up? I'd assume they're probably like 10.5 feet tall, and he's like, I don't know.
I wonder how hard it was for them to find a general practitioner. I bet you they walked in and he was like, I can't fucking help you, dude. Like, how many doctors are like, this is out of my fucking element?
I've seen that Matt Damon movie, but I just don't understand it entirely.
I'm sure they'd have to go to a specialist or something.
Yeah, almost certainly. Also, yeah, I mean, they're so conjoined. Like, there's no separating that. You know, that's
no, hell no. It's they share everything.
Well, Matt Damon was able to get a surgery, I'm pretty sure, at the end of the movie, whatever movie that was.
Anytime there's a movie with Siamese twins, they're always like joined by like one little flap
I've got
of
a
skin.
little bit on my hip. Yeah.
Yeah.
These ladies are like, I don't know where
they
I
share
stop.
a rib cage.
Yeah.
They even have like one neck. I think they have like one neck.
Do they have? Wait, but do they have two vaginas?
No, they have one vagina.
Okay.
That was the whole point.
Okay.
They're like, yeah.
But they have like two sets of organs besides that?
No, I think they share everything.
They have one heart?
Intestinal. I think they might have more than one heart, but I think they share lungs. I think they share.
That's so
intestinal
interesting.
tract.
Like if they had two hearts, how blood would pump through separate, like unless it works as a super heart.
That's true.
But
yeah.
I would love to see just like, I sound like a deranged scientist, but I'd love to get under their skin.
Mengele type.
Yeah, I'd love to get under their skin and just see
vivisect them,
how
lay them open alive.
I just want to know how they work, their anatomy, maybe even their microbiology. Get in there on a real level.
Which one do you think he married?
Probably
the left or the right?
Well, it's weird because the right, our left is holding the flowers, but he's closer to the other one.
Yeah.
But does that other one even have an arm? Yeah, she does. It's just behind him, probably. They each, that's also so interesting. Like, do they each get one arm?
I think they do.
That's so, like, what a weird, like, it somehow worked. First off, this shouldn't even be possible from just like.
Me and Bizzle played a game like this where you each operate one tentacle on a monster. Not saying.
No, okay, don't call them a monster.
In this instance, they're the monster.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. But they're like playing that game.
It's like an insane, just medical miracle that even works. And like the brain connecting only to. I need to know more about the connection. I'm gonna have to look this up later. Like what happens in the connection state to separate them.
Now that you're really going over the inner mechanics of like the fact that these people are a unicorn, I'm kind of jealous of this guy. The more you talk about it, this guy's like,
because I've always wanted to bang a Sasquatch, and this is about as close as you can get.
This guy's having sex with a cryptid, basically, like as close as we can get to a cryptid to having sex with a Siamese twin, which is insane. Hats off to this guy, dude. Hey, you know what? This guy had two routes in his life. He could either be a school shooter, or
podcaster,
he could do something,
or
have sex with a human cryptid, and he chose the unknown third door.
I think they met on like a dating website, or he just saw him at a bar and was like, "Yep, finally."
Siamese twins dating website.
He just saw him out in public and was like, "Yeah, I've been waiting years."
How do you start chatting up a Siamese
Which one do you?
twin?
I mean, you picked the hotter one, obviously, but like, how do you? You're just.
Like, I'm striking out on this one, so you just rotate her 45 degrees,
snap her neck, turn her head around.
Yeah, I'm tired of you. Fuck off. I want to talk to your fucking hot sister that shares the same vagina.
I mean, yeah, that's another. That opens up 1,000 more questions about how they got started. Because it almost has to be like a specialty website or something where like they can talk for a while before meeting. Because imagine just going on a first date and he doesn't know they're beautiful monsters or whatever we call it. God.
I'm sure they're like work friends or something. Yeah. They have to have, you know, there was some time, you know, some.
It's honestly, it time. It's great. I mean, what can I say? I mean, they're married and happy. Look at me. Okay. And I don't even have anything on the outside that, you know, what's the word? Different
would deter the opposite sex besides living in an immaculate home with another man.
Yeah. Besides a lot of like my lifestyle choices and kind of how I come off.
Besides being like overtly gay.
How I smell
from the outside.
There's a lot of things that are
looking in.
The fact that all my hair underneath my hat got heat blasted off and completely slick top of head. There's a like a list that goes on. But this guy and these two women they found each other, and he, I guess, and one of the women, the other one, it's definitely with these Siamese twins, because I've seen another set of Siamese twins where one of them's married. It's a race. You know, it's like, it's a race.
Who can
get married first?
Yeah.
And it's always the hot one.
Yeah.
Because the guy's going to go, well, they're even though they're not, even though they're two totally separate people. And I'm just projecting into this guy that could once again just be a totally cool, normal dude. But he's looking at him and going, they're the same person. I'm going to pick the hot one. You know, how could they be any different? They're raised, next to each other. Like, surely their psychology is similar. I'm going to pick the babe. And then that doesn't work, and then you go for the ugly one. Then you get married with her, and then you get her pregnant or something. I don't even know. Can they get pregnant?
If I had a genetic thing like that, I would be consulting a lot of specialty doctors on whether or not I could pass that down, because
I would
like if I was like a dwarf, I would be like, I'm not having kids, I don't think.
Now, dwarf Siamese twins, that is something I've got to see.
Oh, a dwarf. I bet you there hasn't been one of those. I'm surprised back in the early days of like unethical circus freak acts, like the old Barnum and
like
Bailey's
50 years ago.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't like make their midgets have sex with their Siamese twins. Like, dude, we gotta make that's a gold mine.
I feel like even back then they'd be like,
Siamese
that's not how it works. But yeah,
no, are you kidding?
Back
then
them have sex with a lion, and then they'll all be with a chimera of all sorts. Yeah,
dude.
maybe.
Okay, back then people were stupid as shit. They would have tried it. They would have fucking tried it.
Well, maybe they did.
By the way, I saw
forgotten because it didn't work.
I saw a small person at the airport.
Okay. Well,
it's just I haven't seen one in years, so I was just like, whoa, look at that.
Yeah, I'm sure that they looked over at you and you were just like,
oh my God. Well, no, what was incredible was he was one of the like, it was like a special name for the dwarfism.
Yeah.
But they're anatomically proportional but small. Those are like that's like a unicorn in the midget world. Yeah.
Little person, yeah.
Yeah. And so he was just strutting around.
I know midget isn't the right thing to say. But
I think
but little person
dwarf?
Also, I think from an outsider that just sounds like
worse. Yeah.
Not worse, but like also not great. But
tinies? Tinies.
No, because I called one a shrinky once, not what they're called. I think a little person is safe enough.
Little person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a little person once this big, and he ran through a mouse hole in my house. See, that's where it gets confusing, because you're like, how little are you talking about? Are you talking about mythically small or just a little person? Yeah, I mean, I know some little people, so I don't. It's not like a shock.
You know them on like in like a social basis?
I know. Yes, I know a family of little people.
Meet me at the bar. We're gonna go have some beers.
I don't hang out with them. My parents know them, and their kid went to school with my little sister.
That's awesome.
But
a whole family of them.
Yep.
That's cool.
And when I was younger, I watched an incredible amount of Little People, Big World, which isn't really the same thing.
I would just love to not force my way into their house. Of course, I wouldn't do that, but invite myself in and just sit on their couch and watch them all.
I can't
just
imagine
living life.
a worse friend to bring to to a place like that.
I just want to sit there and watch.
I cannot imagine a person that I'd be more afraid of. Like, what is he gonna say? What's he gonna do?
What? I'm not gonna say nothing bad.
You just be like, oh my god!
I just want to come over.
You'd see one little fridge and be like, oh my god! You go crazy.
I would have to say something.
You would not be allowed in that house.
Yeah, if I slept over at their place in the morning, if the mom was like, "Can I make you breakfast?" I'd be like, "I would love you to," so I could just watch the system.
Well, they live in a
the eggs,
big shoe on a hill. So.
I mean, do they have like one of those houses where like the countertops are lower? Everything's smaller?
I've never been to their house.
Would it be like a Willy Wonka house where I'm just like huge in there?
They're like wealthy, so I'd imagine they have like a custom house built to their
wealthy. It's half the materials. Just fine. If anything, it's cheaper. You put the countertops 2 feet off the ground.
I mean, I honestly could see it being.
They could
cheaper.
live in like the being John Malkovich like office space. Just like you could have a regular sized house be 2 stories. You know, be incredible.
Yeah, and you could have a double-decker basement really easily, and all these. Yeah, like. What are they complaining about?
I mean, if you have the money, I guess to sit there and get
save their.
Well, then you have to get a tiny contractor to work on all that stuff. A big contractor is not going to be able to do it.
I can't say their son's name on the podcast, even though I might have way back when anyway. But they've given him like a fantasy dwarf name too, and I think that's really badass, but also like kind of crazy. To give your dwarf son a like not a regular person name. So yeah, his name's Gimli. Okay. All right, they're gonna see this. I'm just kidding. No, I don't even think they know my name. Okay, so do you want to talk about? Let's see. You were at Range Day recently.
Yeah, I got invited out to go to Range Day by Donut Operator. If you guys remember him, and that was like his stipulation for doing that. What's the name of that fucking game?
Ready or Not?
Like a copper. Ready or Not? Yeah, I did a Ready or Not video, and I was like, "Will you come do like this bit?" He was basically doing the exact same thing his channel is, which is like reviewing body cam footage, but it was my body cam footage from that game where I was just blowing away a grandma with a shotgun in the house.
Yeah.
And
like, is this okay?
Surprisingly, he was like, yeah, that's fine. Were you fearing for your life? Was basically his get out of jail free card. And his stipulation for that, he was like, I'll do this if you come to Range Day. I was like, okay, fine, I'll come to Range Day. And then it snuck up on me, so I got tickets at the last second and went over there. And I was so excited to meet Wendigoon. Epic prior guest that we had. Yep. One of the best.
He's 2-time guest. Both times good.
Guest. Both times good. We had that awesome Nutty Putty Cave segment, and then we had it wasn't even Nutty Putty Cave. It was some other cave thing.
We had
and then
Bible
and then
stuff.
Yeah, like the Old Testament bullshit. That was so funny. Because I do appreciate he is like I think he's like he's like educated to be a pastor or something like that, but. And he is religious, but he doesn't like. I think he acknowledges the absurdity of the Old Testament.
Yeah, didn't get like mad or anything when we make or be like
we're obviously riffing on it.
At one point, I remember I even accidentally was like, "Okay, but what's like what was the real story or something?" He's like, "Okay," I'm like, "Oh shit, my bad. I did not mean it to come out like that." But he didn't take it, in any bad way. Yeah. Anywho, go on.
Anyway, so I'm so excited to see Wendigoon. He's not even fucking there. And then I'm like, oh, well, Donut Operator talked up that Meat Canyon would be there. So I was so excited to see Meat Canyon. He wasn't there either.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks. All right. So we didn't get any future guests. I'm guessing.
So none of the fucking people that I went to go see were really there. I did see Donut Operator. He's honestly a really great guy. I am going to say, though, while I was there, I did get some talking tos from some people that will not be named, because there is some like people within our audience that are just like, yeah, they get angry but some people were like, you know, this is going to look bad on you if you go to range day on account of they're all like crazy right wingers. And I'm like, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that these people just like shooting guns and shit. And so cause I show up and I have actually written down the people that are cool as hell. Operator Drewski. That guy's just he's just a cool dude. Donut Operator's cool.
And
actually,
every one
Donut
of these
Operators
is also a personal endorsement for what
personal
they
endorsement.
say.
Yeah.
For Sam only.
Yeah.
And I don't know any of these fucking people, and honestly,
no. Poob. This also extends to Poob too. Poob's giving the seal of approval.
Fuck you.
No, I'm just saying from my limited exposure. Okay.
Yeah.
Operator Drewski could have shook my hand, been nice to me, and then went home and raped 27 people. Okay. I don't know. All right. I'm just saying they were nice to me.
Yeah.
And they seem to be disconnected from the other things that I'm about to say.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. Donut Operator. I get the feeling that guy's just there to fucking shoot guns and drink beer. Okay.
I mean,
by the way, his mom and dad were there.
Rock flag.
Nicest fucking people I've ever seen. His mom rocks. Velian, One Peg, Leon Lush, Ben Jammins, apparently a streamer that just dresses up like Ben Franklin. I hung out with him a little bit.
Wait. I saw that guy at a at a thing once, and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And
he just dresses up as Ben Franklin.
Yeah, I saw a guy dressed like Ben Franklin, and then someone later was like, that's a big streamer. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
I saw him at the bar just like as a guy, and I was like, oh, what do you do? He's like, I dress up like Ben Franklin. I was like,
okay.
I was like, oh, okay. And because like when you say it like that, I just imagine like that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Yeah. But then he's like, no, I just got done doing like a thing with Amaranth where we went on a date, and then I did like another date thing with Morgue Pie, and I was like, you have my attention, sir. And I see him again the next day at range day. This is the day before.
Yeah.
And it's like 100 degrees outside. He's out there in his Ben Franklin like latex cap, God. And he's just like, you can tell he's dying, dude.
But he has to
later that night, we peeled back his little head cap for his hair, just the biggest sunburn line across his forehead. But everybody got burned.
I bet it stunk so bad.
Yeah, he's probably stinky. I didn't give him a huge sniff down. Sniping Soup was there. That guy's cool as hell. Ethan, his friend, who's also he has a channel. I forget the name of his channel.
Ethan and then Klein.
Yes, Ethan Klein. Yeah. And then there's a couple guys. Oh, this guy Frank. I don't know. I don't know this guy's.
Could you be any more specific?
His name is just Frank. He's just like this giant power lifter guy I was talking to for a while. And this other guy, Aiden. They're the guys that I had some long-term exposure to that just seem like cool people that are apolitical and just laying in the cut and want to shoot stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, at range day, there is a very visible out in the open gun tuber to like fucking QAnon pipeline that is alive and well. Okay.
Yeah.
Like these people were cool, but like the periphery, their side characters that were hanging out that are just there trying to sell you gun shit and are there like trying to hawk their NRA alternative. They're like, the NRA is not working in our interest because black people are allowed in. And we need to have like an all white. We need RPGs and shit to fight the Jewish space lasers. And like those characters are there and they're just out in the open, dude. They're fully comfortable out there in Texas. There was some real unhinged weird shit going on.
I think
and
that
I
would
just
not
kinda,
surprise many people.
Really? I
dude,
thought I was just going out there to blow up shit.
Guy ever. I mean, I feel like I even said so, like months ago. I'm like, oh yeah, like we're having like these gun tubers who like so like they're definitely got like a reputation, you know, like.
Well, I don't know. I thought Brandon Herrera was like running for Congress just because.
Oh no, he's probably running for Congress because he wants to kill somebody or some, you know. Let's get. What do I know? The only scoop I got for his Congress run was like he was running because it was funny because his like opponent is like an actual politician, and so his opponent, like, you know, actual politicians don't really get like a whole lot of, unless they're like
Ocasio-Cortez or something. They don't get a lot of like traction online, and so his opponent like will tweet some bullshit about policy, and then Brandon Herrera will just be like, that's lame and gay, and like swamp him and like retweets and likes and stuff, and he'll just demolish you, ratio the fuck out of him. And he's made his opponent in the race spend an extra $3 million in campaign money, which is kind of funny to just throw a wrench in like the political wheel like that. But I don't really know how entrenched in all this weird shit he is. I didn't really get to talk to him any.
I don't. Once again, don't. What do I know? I just saw like literally today a Twitter picture of him when he was younger, just wearing like a Confederate flag shirt, going on a rant about what the Civil War was really fought about.
Oh, was he one of those like it's about state rights?
It was just people? It was revisionist. It was like one step further than even that.
Oh, really?
But you know, this is a while ago.
Liked being enslaved.
He didn't look the same in the video, you know, so like it could have been a long time ago, and it could be totally different. Anyway, listen, man, it's just like when I think about people like that, it just takes me back to high school, and you know, I'm not shocked. Like every friend I had that was like, and listen, like a lot of my family are like super into guns. I own a gun, you know, like I don't think there's a direct line with that. But then the people that are like, this is my number one thing. There's normally a pretty quick, like, you talk to them a little bit longer. You're like, oh, you hold some ideologies that are
anybody that makes their personality about a thing, regardless of what that thing, if it's like, I'm a car guy, you're a kind of a fucking loser. If you're like, I'm a gun guy,
why wouldn't you want to be? It's multifaceted, kind of like a jack of all trades.
Having an interest in something is, like, is one thing, but like having it define you is kind of
that's why
a little bit whack.
I'm an expert of like 1,000 different things, and I'm known as a guy that knows a lot about a lot of different things. I know what you mean though, because it's like I don't even like being mustache guy. You know, like I don't even like being like, oh, you got that mustache and mullet. I'm like, God damn it, it's not a mullet. Okay, it's just that you see it as a mullet. It's not a mullet. Okay.
Oh, but I saw at the airport, by the way, I saw a Poob type. You know, you're like an archetype. Like the same way I'm an archetype where like you look at me and you go, that guy's either fucking
it's
kids
a guy with a mustache and a mullet. But I don't have a mullet, but yes.
There was a Poob type in front of me at TSA and he was hitting on this girl in front of him and she was having nothing to do with it.
That's how you know he's a real Poob type. Yeah, that checks out. Because I thought for a second
and
you were going to say
he was
getting somewhere.
No, he was not getting anywhere. No. I don't think I've ever seen someone try to do like put squarely their back towards someone as hard as, and he was like almost like grabbing her shoulder like, hey,
like creepy, like a creepy guy like harassing women. That's a Poob type. That's a total Poob type. He was kind of perving out, looking at, he was probably checking out the talent in the line, and then he saw her and just kind of like, ew, crept over, ew,
pretty lady. And then he sat there and went, oh.
Dude, I can't stop, like, when I was playing that fucking game, I can't stop doing that bit where I'm, like, the most crass possible version of myself I can be. Just being like, oh, yeah. And then I, like, totally was like, like it's so fucking funny.
Where you going? You gonna wipe your butt?
Yeah. Like, so then I'm at the zoo and the gorillas see us, and then they join in and they're banging. Just, like, the absolute... like worse. That is the absolute fear of an outsider seeing this and being like, it's just so funny, you know. I can't even beat like that archetype of Poob type is actually cooler than me because I'd never hit on a girl at an airport. You know, I'd never be like, I don't even know what you'd say. Like, hey, this is an airport. Like, we're in the airport. Like, are you in line at the airport? But then to like be that crass also it's such a like fantasy, you know. I just wish I could be like,
it's something that's like you don't condone it, but you do think it is funny.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Yeah, it's like morally reprehensible, but it's also funny.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. You know, It's funny, you know. It's just good fun. It's good, clean fun. Anything else happen at range day? You want to talk?
Oh yeah, there's actually plenty. There's plenty. Hold on.
Do you have any? Do you have a grudge list?
I don't have a grudge list actually.
Okay.
A lot of the people I met were cool. There was some people that like immediately, like I saw a guy just like he loaded a mag into a gun, and then like looked back at everybody and goes like, "Hey, this is what I do when they say their pronouns are they them," and they just full auto emptied it, and I was like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck who invited me?
Well,
here?
you
like
don't understand
unhinged
what
people.
your
Some of these people are unhinged.
you don't know what your like perception is online, because I bet a lot of people assume you would fit right in
there. Yeah. No, I firmly believe I'm an egalitarian across the board. Okay, if I'm going to get heart surgery, I don't want some fucking white dude to do my surgery just because his parents could afford to put him through medical school. I don't care if you're some black trans chick.
I
want the
care
best
if you're
goddamn
two people
heart surgeon
meshed together.
Yeah, I don't care if you're
some
these
freak
two
of
Siamese
science.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could be the freakiest little midget Siamese twin person. If you're the best heart surgeon in the world, that's who I want working on me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck where you're from or who you are,
Well,
or if you talk funny, or if you're like a
sounding-
shrinky.
You're sounding a little woke right now. I'm gonna go ahead and have you back down a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Because that is kind of a badass thing to say before shooting like a big ass gun or like
It
maybe
is
a
kind
rocket
of, yeah.
launcher. Like this person just said, like they don't look like me. Bam! Shoot a fucking rocket. That's kind of hard because I've never done anything that cool. You know, I've never been like, this is what I say when a guy says, this is what I say when
people don't agree with me.
This is what I do.
I unload a Thompson on them.
This is what happens when someone triggers me. That would be awesome, but no, it'd also be.
I will say,
lame.
by the way, a lot of the people that showed up, super lame because they had all this shit laid out. In basically, it was like booths of people trying to sell you their gun modifications. Like these are the competition level pistols that we provide, where they're like maxed out,
cool, like
Punisher
John Wick
level
guns.
Yes, John Wick guns. Which I tried those at the end, and I was like, these are kind of dope. But then on the far left side, there was all these like machine guns and like the minigun and stuff, where it's like $200 for every like 4 seconds you hold the button down, and everybody was lined up for that stuff because it's loud, I guess. But on the far right side was this on the far right. I was like, I ain't going over that pussy ass left side.
Nobody's on the left side here at all. Not even a little.
Yeah.
No one's even in the middle. Everyone's all the way over on minigun.
Yeah. So on the very far right, there's this guy Aiden that had a white van, and I guess is friends with Brandon Herrera.
Yeah.
And Aiden rocks, by the way. If you're watching this, you fucking
Aiden Ross. You just said Aiden
Ross.
Ross.
Yes, it was Aiden Ross.
He had a white van. He was picking up people.
This guy was in charge of all of Brandon Herrera's like historical weapons.
Oh,
and
cool.
there was maybe 4 other people that were trying to shoot him. And so I got to run through all like my bucket list of guns I wanted to shoot. Like the British Sten gun, you know, the one with the mag that goes in the side. Possibly, you think looking at it in a game, you're like, that thing must be a dream to shoot. It's actually the most unergonomic thing in the world to hold a gun like this and shoot it. It's horrific.
I don't think a lot of people look at that and are like, that's why every gun looks like that. Yeah.
That gun fucking sucks, but very cool to shoot. It, honestly, a lot of the guns out there are like, how fast can we put bullets down range? I like the Sten gun. Shoots like very slow.
Yeah.
And then Thompson submachine gun, fucking heaviest thing ever made. It is so heavy. It feels like $1 million though. It feels like pulling the bolt back on it. It's not like it's the exact opposite of the Sten gun, where it's just like perfectly milled. It's very tight. Feels great. That thing rocks. I shot a Mosin Obrez, you know, like that little
cool.
sawed-off dog shit gun with a bayonet on the front. The German MP40. I saw they had one, just like they had them just laid out on a Rubbermaid table, just all the guns. And by the way, Gwen's been crying every day since you left.
Like, well, so I'm just grabbing him.
Did you even say bye to Gwen?
Yes.
I just feel like she's like, is he downstairs?
I'm not trying to like grab him to distract you. Someone's taking a shower upstairs, and the high pitched noise from it turning on like freaks the fuck out of Pip, and he's crying. He goes crazy.
They had an MP40 on this table, and I was like, oh, I got to shoot the MP40,
That's
right?
cool,
It's the German submachine gun. Like, you see them in movies. It's an iconic shape. It's awesome.
Any, like, COD 2, COD 3 gun or something, it's just cool.
And I was like, I have to shoot this. And they were like, we can't find the mag. And I'm like, what the fuck? You can't find the mag? I'm like, surely.
You only got one?
Yeah, I was like, you only have one? And they were like, they're like $500 a piece because they haven't been made since 1945, you know.
Okay, Brokey, I thought this was like a place to shoot any gun ever. Like, I'd be
So I was telling this Aiden guy, I was like, for the love of God, like, can I go tearing through your van looking for this mag? And we tore it apart looking for it. He couldn't find it. Literally an hour later, Brandon Herrera shows up drinking a beer, and I was like, hey dude, your MP40's here. I'm kind of like, I'm hankering to shoot this thing. Where's the mag? And he just goes, oh, MP40? Yeah, mag's right there. He just like points at the table. It's just in between two guns. Like, I don't know how he saw it immediately. That thing is maybe the best gun I've ever shot. I have very limited gun experience, guys. You know, I'm just some lib, you know, what do I know? But
don't say that.
Very limited
You're
gun
not
experience.
Just some lib, dude. No. You're trying to tank the patrons, dude. What
the patrons, yeah. Sorry, I'm actually some like Nazi, like you guys think.
No, okay, somewhere.
I'm like a Jewish Nazi, apparently. Yeah. I'm like a Ben Shapiro type.
Yeah, I hope you didn't talk about your heritage at all there.
I did see one black guy there, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I'm flying under the radar. Okay?
Of him and he was like, oh, where am I?
I pointed at him. I was like, you guys see this? Like, anybody? You guys have blinders on or something? What's this guy doing here? Yeah. What?
That's like seeing two little people can join twins. What the hell? Yeah.
Out there in Texas? Yeah, it was it was definitely
dude, it's like, I don't even want to, we can cut this out if it comes off poorly, but that guy we met at TwitchCon that was like a black guy that was like the most racist black guy ever. There's a certain type of black person you meet at these events where you're like, why are you here? And then you talk to him and you're like, oh, okay, right. Yeah, you know,
Uncle Tom.
Yeah,
type.
it's like, okay, you're here because you're like the most racist person I've ever met. Okay, yeah,
I met one of those there.
Sure, yeah.
I saw him get openly called the N-word, and he just by a girl too, and I was like, wow, you didn't twist her head backwards in front of everybody. I would have given it a thumbs up. But anyways,
that's awful. That's
well, back to the important stuff.
Sorry.
The MP40 dude shoots like a fucking dream. No recoil. It's those Germans. They sure do know how to make them. You know.
Clothes.
That's a shame. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened to the production of the MP40? What happened to it?
Why is it so expensive to get there?
Yeah. No, that whole
everyone there is like, God, the Germans just had so many good ideas. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was they kept trying to sell me on it. They were like, now try the British gun. Not so good, is it? Now try the MP40 again.
Yeah. There's not even a trigger on this gun. What the hell?
Oh, and iconic gun. Honestly, one of the coolest looking guns ever made. MP5 silenced with like the H&K like built-in silencer where it has like the big
thick one.
The thick one. Yeah. That gun fucking rocks.
That is cool.
It rocks. It's very cool. It just has such a good like
I'd prefer a silenced ACR or something.
Very badass doing the like ding, where you slap the bolt and it that's
Did you shoot a Desert Eagle?
I did not. No, I did.
Do
you know Klean?
Yeah. I know how to clean my asshole. Yeah, no, but I do know Klean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know him but I know of him. You know, we've
I
never.
met Klean.
I've met
very
him
cool
technically.
Guy.
You know, was he cool? This is no shade to him at all, but every time I've seen him like 3 times in a line to an event at like Creator Clash or TwitchCon. I don't remember what. Every time, first thought, wow, this guy's beautiful. Second thought, wow, he's stoic too. Third thought, is he even having fun here? Because he's always just like, and one time, I think Devin was like, hey, what's up, man? Talk to him. He's like, eh. And we got into the party. He's like, this place fucking sucks. Like, you guys can have our drink tokens. Just gave them to us and left. Which I'm like, I get that because the party did suck.
Yeah.
So it's no real shade on him. But he's just kind of got like, he's a little unapproachable the way he comes off because he's like a very handsome and stoic looking person. And I find those types of people kind of intimidating to like just, you can, when you're at an event, you can tell on the face if they want to be approached or not. And if they're just like,
let me go get a beer and I will unravel the mystery of Klean for you.
Okay.
So Klean, I met him at like, I think it was like at the bar, like the first night.
So it's a nice spot to meet someone.
At range day, maybe. No, I think it was at the bar. I don't know where I first met him because we went to a bar first. I got super fucked up. And then the next day we had range day. And I show up in the middle of the desert and I'm completely dehydrated from last night's drinking. Yeah. And so they had like these big ice chests with water in them. And I kept coming up and like the lady that was running the water stand was like, dude, like she almost cut me off. Like, you need to stop. I drank
1, 2, 3. Save some for me.
I drank 6 bottles of water. And she was like, you need to stop. Like you've taken your allotment. I did not use the bathroom once by the way, 2 porta potties for like 300 people. Are you insane? That is
my personal nightmare.
Are you insane? Anyways, I didn't use them maybe once, but awesome. I was like, I'm 100% just rehydrating my body. I went to go for a 7th bottle of water. And the lady was like, we're out, dude. You took more than your allotment. You have deprived. Yeah, there's somebody over there that's dying of dehydration because you drank all the fucking water.
Look at him. Look at what you did to him.
But anyways, no, I think it was the first night I met Klean at the bar. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is Texas. Like, I'll drink a little bit, but I'm not like a big alcohol guy. San Antonio.
Okay.
Which is like apparently San Antonio, Houston, and Austin are all in like a big triangle they seem to all be like right there.
They're like hours apart from each other, but yeah, they are.
But eventually it's going to be like one Judge Dredd, like super metropolis city.
Yeah. Charles Barkley always says the women in San Antonio are fat. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
All I saw there was a lot of trophy wives, which was like 3 women at the range day. Mm-hmm. And then I saw more like doctor appointed testosterone treatments being like in a crowd than I've ever seen in my life. Like there was more bald heads, gray beards, but visible traps and biceps on dudes than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
The average age of the range day was like way up compared to TwitchCon. Like easily 15, 20 years. Like I don't think there's many people there that weren't graying in some form. Anyways, at the bar thing, I met Klean. I was like, beer's nice, but some smoke. He was like, come back to my place. Very stoic guy at the bar and stuff. You get him one-on-one, he's a different animal. Okay. He's just.
I'd like to get him one-on-one and find out what kind of animal he is.
He's very much like
I'm joking.
He's like a warrior poet type guy. Like he's just. He welcomes me into his home.
Yeah.
You walk in, the first thing you see in his house.
He lives there?
Yeah, he lives in San Antonio.
What address? I'm just.
You walk. I got driven everywhere. I have no idea.
Well, I
walk in.
Just be careful. Yeah, like talking too much about people's like personal. I don't know, secluded. A lot of these people are.
Well, I'll send this to him and see if he's okay with it.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna say anything bad. You walk in, you see a streamer room, which is like gun tuber room.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the little pin board with they Yeah, but you leave that, and the rest of his house looks like it's out of Architectural Digest.
No
like
way.
It is very minimalist, very just like monochrome in terms of his like muted lighting,
okay.
very like ash colored wood, very beautiful house. And he leads me to this couch, smoke a little bit.
Yeah.
And
you say snuggle up?
He sits on the fucking Chase lounge in like Indian style. Like, and just like, we just have like the longest conversation till like 2 a.m. Just the nicest guy in the world. Also, Noise Guy was there, if you know him. He drove me around a little bit. He's like a Tarkov guy.
Yeah. I've heard the name. I don't know him.
Just very cool vibes from Klean.
Oh, that's cool.
But, that being said, the next night, kind of a repeat of the night before, we did range day, and then we went out to a bar, got really drunk, and then I was like, Klean, I can't sleep without my smokies. So we go back to his place.
You are the worst, dude. You're just like, hey, man, can I go smoke your weed again? Good God, dude. I'd be going crazy.
He's a nice guy. He invited me.
I'd shoot you with the fucking gun. If this guy kept creeping up to me, there's some libtard kept coming up to me asking for my weed, I'd blast your fucking head off. But sorry.
He offered. He's a nice guy.
Okay,
he's a nice guy.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm back at his place. And this time there's like a lot more people there. Yeah. And it's more like a gathering. And
please, can we go in your room somewhere more private? Can you ask them to leave? I don't like this.
Klean, they're hawking your weed.
They're smoking it all.
They're gonna smoke all your weed that you let me have. Anyways, yeah, he no, like the conversations is it's getting real late, and I'm kind of just like zoning out on the couch, like kind of like halfway paying attention, halfway not. And I hear them talking about adrenochrome, and I'm like, oh, all I know adrenochrome is from like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Have you seen that movie?
I'm gonna say no because I haven't.
Okay.
But I know I should.
Okay. See, it's a Johnny Depp movie.
My family's own I know the cover. Like I know what it's about.
The cover is iconic.
Yeah, I know what it's about. I just haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, in the movie,
is it based on a true story? Also, like
it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, by the way, you should like at least read like a retelling. You don't have to actually read the book Fear and Loathing on the campaign trail or whatever, but
I like reading.
Or you could watch the movie.
I'll watch the movie. Yeah, I'll watch that sometime.
But the story's about Hunter S. Thompson works for Rolling Stone, and they send him, I think, to go cover a fight in Vegas. And he brings his like lawyer / drug dealer, and he's just he's just fucked up on everything on his way to Vegas and misses the fight entirely. And then he just kind of like turns in his writings about like what happened on his way to get to the fight. And they were like, this is kind of great, but it's also, we kind of sent you to do something important and you missed it entirely, but whatever. You slept in. In the movie, he's just like constantly taking acid and smoking weed and coke and like in his lawyer's little purse, his little man bag, he has some adrenochrome. And Benicio del Toro plays his lawyer, and he's like, just take a little bit, man. He's like on the phone. He's like, just take a little bit. And so he takes like a little like dopper of what are those things called? A little like a little dropper, just a couple drops of adrenochrome. And that's all I know of adrenochrome. I was like, oh, it's like some sort of, I'm assuming psychedelic or something like that. And I hear like Klean talking about it, and they're talking about how it's like refined or whatever. And I'm like, yo, Klean, crazy idea. We should get some adrenochrome and make like a video on it, like do like we both take it.
Yeah.
And like the room is just absolutely dead silent. And he's like, are you out of your fucking mind? It is the most evil substance known to man. they basically have to like wring babies out in order to get this stuff. It is unethical to own.
What?
It's morally reprehensible to take. It's satanic in nature. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I thought we were just trying to get fucked up. I didn't know this was like. I didn't think this.
I'll kill 100 babies. And I love abortion. I tell you guys, I love abortion.
Like, my bad, pimp. I didn't know this was like not okay. And apparently there's like some big conspiracy about adrenochrome or something.
Oh wait,
like that.
yeah. What the hell? I just looked it up. Was this even like a drug? Or I was gonna say the name of it, adrenochrome, sounds like incredibly like medical. You know, it sounds like something. It's interesting. The first thing's the dark virality of Hollywood blood harvesting.
Yeah. He's like really into, you know what, this is what's going to set apart Klean from the other guys, is that from talking to him, he is kind of prone to kind of jumping into conspiracies a little bit, it seems like. But what separates him is I don't think he believes in like Jewish space laser type, you know, like racist conspiracy theories. I think he's a little bit out there though, for sure.
It's interesting. It just says adrenochrome is the chemical compound produced by the oxidation of adrenaline.
Yeah, which I think they can synthesize adrenaline. Why can't they just oxidize synthesized adrenaline and make adrenochrome?
They do just pop out a fucking.
But apparently they have to like put a baby in a blender or something, and then yeah, and then they get a adrenochrome.
Yeah, what does this have to do with babies? So babies got to be.
I don't know. I think it's like a stem cell or something you yank from a baby or something while it's still alive, and I think that's part of like Hunter S. Thompson's work, is he says like it's something that you can't get from a corpse. Like you have to get it from a live.
But it rocks when you take it, or what does it do when you take it?
In the movie, it looked like it rocked, so that's why I was like, "Oh, adrenochrome, we should get some."
It's looking like it's some sort of like anti-aging thing, like stem cells or something. Like, does it?
Well, so that's the big conspiracy that I've heard about, is that they're like Hillary Clinton takes adrenochrome. I was like, if she takes that shit, she needs to take some more, because she's fucking looks old as shit.
Well, I mean,
they're like, it's the fountain. It's the fountain of youth.
What is she, like?
And Hillary
fucking
Clinton's
80?
on it. I'm like, dude, there's way better old ass ladies out there. Like, if you said like Susan Sarandon took adrenochrome, I might believe you, or like Selma Hayek or something. Demi Moore.
Jones is on.
Yeah, Catherine. If you said Catherine Zeta-Jones was on adrenochrome, I'd be like, okay, there might be something to this, but Hillary Clinton is some mid-ass 60-year-old woman, or however old she is. But anyways, yeah, that was my extent of
so
of
you
my,
said
my
that,
clean.
and they were all like, "You're a piece of fucking shit."
Yeah, they almost shot me right there. Yeah, I almost got fucking gutted and thrown out.
You guys have
garbage.
kids, so we can get some adrenochrome out of. Maybe we can abort. And they're like, Jesus.
I don't know, dude. I'm just trying to hang out with my new homies. Okay, I didn't know there was conspiracies about
and your kids' adrenochrome, whatever it is, and whatever it does to a person. Yeah. That's such a crazy.
No, it was kind of cool.
Man, wouldn't it be a funny video? Like, let's do some drug from a movie. I don't know anything about.
I saw a great video where this guy's like, it's called gardening on salvia, and he's like, I'm gonna go garden on salvia, and he just smokes it and falls
jumps
asleep
out a
for
window
5
or
minutes.
something. Christ.
Well, he starts to like pot a plant, and then he just lays down on the ground and goes, ah, and then falls asleep for 15 minutes, and then gets up and walks away, and that's the entire video.
50% of salvia videos I've seen, someone jumps out a window, or falls out a window,
or pulls a fucking ceiling fan down or something.
I would love to just take it. Well, not really, but I'd love to go and experience it for like 10 seconds, just to see like what is causing these people to be like, holy fuck, I'm gonna tear down my house or jump out of it. That's kind of awesome.
I feel the same way about like shrooms or DMT or stuff like salvia, but I don't have like a safe person to like. I need to have like a sober Bizzle watch over me. Because I can't go like, Abby, watch over me.
Abby, I'm about to go out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I might try to kill myself.
I'm like over 100 pounds heavier than her. Like if I freak the fuck out, I could just I could fucking rip her head off or something. I want her to be horrified
I'm
of
gonna
me.
take this drug. It's gonna make me go crazy for about an hour. Okay, you need to watch me.
Here's a K-bar knife and a fucking
all right, lock
a big hammer.
Lock the kids in our room. You get in there with a gun. If I start breaking in, you kill me. Okay, I'm gonna be in the basement. I'm gonna tie a rope around my waist to the couch. That's really the best way to do it. It's like if I come upstairs, shoot me. I'm gonna try to stay down here.
Have you seen that movie Black Snake Moan?
No, it doesn't sound like a real movie.
It's got Samuel Jackson in it, and
Anaconda or something. What are you talking about? Snakes
no, he like changed this girl up to a bed, and for her own safety. And I feel like I need Samuel Jackson with a shotgun to chain me up to a bed.
That wouldn't make you have a bad trip at all if you looked up and he was just like, if you freak out, I'm gonna fucking blow your head off.
In the movie, he's just got a wife beater on, and he's got like the Dr. Phil hair. You know, he's just like bulb on top.
So it's like the classic GIF of him being like,
"Yeah,
okay, I've seen that GIF of him in a wife beater with that hair, the like gray like Dr. Phil hair all around." Interesting. You know, we never talked about the best movie ever, Buffalo 66. Yeah, the most awesome Vincent Gallo movie of all time, where he's got a big dick and she's not 16 in the movie. She's like way older. And
dude, if you want to go down the Vincent Gallo like thing, no, you don't need to. I would want to, but we need to do a perfect preamble for it. It needs to be a full. That's like a 30-minute conversation. I've done a lot of thinking on Vincent Gallo. Okay?
I haven't thought about Vincent Gallo at all. I just think about the movie Buffalo 66. And for what reason is it like one of my mom's and stepdad's like favorite movies? And
that's concerning.
They made me
shelve it because it needs its own segment.
Well, the reason I showed it to you is, sorry, this is just not a preamble. They made my friend and I watch it like on Christmas once, and we're like, "Oh, like, Mom, I don't want to watch this." And they were like, "No, this movie's hilarious. Like, you gotta watch this." And then we watched it, and we're like, "That was pretty funny in like an insane way." Just like all the, I love the like, I don't even know his name in it, but like, get the Vincent picture or whatever. I just love he's just such a freak, but yeah, he's also a rotten bastard. No, we don't have to talk about that. I've got 7 other bullet points here.
Oh wait,
are you done?
Hold on.
Wait,
I do have more. No, I do have other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have other stuff. There's the like one black guy there, Nigel.
Yeah.
He works for Braille Skateboarding. If you know Braille Skateboarding, it's like the biggest skateboarding.
I'm gonna act like I don't, but you told me on the phone the other day.
Okay.
About it. So
it was
for blind people? It's
Ricky is like an Australian dude that works there. He's also a pro skateboarder, and Nigel were there. And I saw them, I don't want to say strong arm some free merchandise, but I will say that I don't think they were supposed to have it. They had like these, it was like a fanny pack. It was like our awesome Stream Elements Toto Designs fanny pack.
Thank you, Toto. But, thank you, Stream Elements. Got mine hanging up a little.
They were like on their chest. It was like a fanny pack that was on the chest that had like a chest rig.
It's like British guy wears those.
Yeah. They were honestly very cool. And I was like, where the hell did you get those?
It's like a sports bra.
We got them at this like booth over there. And I remember seeing they were trying them on when I initially got there. And then they just kind of like dapped up the guy behind the booth. Like, remember, these booths are selling people stuff.
Yeah.
And they kind of had them lined up. They put them on and then just like gave the guy a fist bump and walked away with them. And
then they flashed their big ass gun and we're like, oh,
the fucking guy the boss of the booth like goes over there and is like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you shouldn't be giving away those things. And like the guys were already walking away with them. I think they were supposed to buy those.
Yeah.
And they 100% just put them on and were like, thanks for the free bag. And walk. There's like $200 a piece.
We're skateboarders. See ya.
Yeah, we skate. Yeah, you're gonna see a return on investment when the skateboarders see these guys walking around with tactical gear. But Yeah, those guys are pretty cool. They were kind of outliers where I was like, what the hell are pro skateboarders doing here? But
Yeah, it's a cool profession. Well, down operator's like a skate shop owner.
he is a skate guy. And then I kind of realized what it was is both those guys, they moved to LA to do skateboarding. And then all the places where typically you do like street skating in LA, I mean, there's going to be like a lot of like homeless people and ruffians around. I think they got really disenchanted with like I think they just stay strapped 24/7 because they just tired of running in with people. But it's kind of a weird little turn of, I don't know. I feel like being a skateboarder is very much an act of rebellion. You're fucking ripping up on like corporate property and stuff. It's another thing to go up there and like skate around while strapped, like
while shooting homeless people,
like detective revolvers under your arms,
back to back, fucking blasting homeless people, Christ airing. I mean,
doing the Chris Evans scene from Scott Pilgrim, doing like the big rail,
flying down
with double pistols.
Open season.
There is some characters there for sure.
I bet there. I mean, I'm sure it's a great place to.
You know what?
People watch.
It was a lot like that VTuber party we went to.
Where it's like this isn't
in Vegas.
This isn't our natural crowd, but it's also like very interesting.
It's interesting to see people that are so outside your wheelhouse.
There's some people that fall into the stereotype that these people fall into. Yeah. It's overall, people. There's some weird ones.
Definitely some weird ones.
That party was, I mean, that's probably the best party I went to, though. Probably Omid's favorite party, too. I think he loved that party. I think everyone had a great time
recently,
there.
I just was doing a thing with Bobbers like 2 nights ago.
Nice.
They have a, have you ever heard of Infinite Craft? It's a word game where they give you like 3 words. It's like water, fire, and
you try to get to it by combining words.
Yeah, you can like take words, and it's powered by AI where like if you take water and fire and put them together, it makes steam. And then
I have seen that,
and you can keep going until you just get ridiculous words. The hardest thing to break through is to get to into like the NSFW realm. Like getting to boobs is hard. And in fact, Bobbers has a speed run to boobs, where he goes from like water, air, and fire. He has like a fucking flow chart on how to get to boobs. Because once you get to boobs, you can apply boobs to anything, and it just starts fucking making horny versions of that word. But hold on, let me find this. What's the name of it again? It's like Infinite Craft. It saves your progress on it. But the point of the thing that Bobbers was doing was you play on Infinite Craft for a while until you get new discoveries, which is like words that haven't been made by anybody yet. Not words, but like phrases. So I have one that's like Poison Nightmare Lambo. How cool is that? That's like the ultimate dude name. Poison Nightmare Lambo. Whoa, you're closing your eyes trying to imagine it, but you're disabled, so you can't. So don't even
like
try anymore.
A green Lamborghini.
With bangs on the front. That's cool. You play Infinite Craft, you get awesome discoveries like that, and then you pair up with an artist on his Discord, and you have 10 minutes to make a piece of art that is based on your Infinite Craft prompt that you've made. And then afterwards, everybody comes back together and you share the art, and you all just like kind of critique it. Not like critique it, but you just kind of go like, oh, that's awesome. And there's really no rating system. It's just kind of like a hangout night. I did that. That was awesome. That's the same group of people that had that house party. Like it was like so left field. And then I got dragged into doing content warning, which is why you were like, you said you weren't gonna play it this week. What the fuck? And all of a sudden you're playing it.
To play, and then we tried to set it up, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna play all week. And then he's on like while we're on. Like, what the fuck? I thought, he always does, he doesn't like. He always complains like, oh, we only talk on the podcast. And anytime I try to play with him, he's like, nah. I'm setting up a lot of
this time I was
dates,
actually not editing. I was doing other stuff. I was Hang out with bobbers.
Oh, Bob's your uncle. Okay. There's always some excuse.
I haven't figured out what that saying means yet. Bob's your uncle.
I just like it because my friend's uncle's name is Bob. So we'd always say, and Bob's your uncle. And he'd go, yeah, he is. And we'd all
Isn't
go.
that like a Canadian saying or
I
something?
think Bob's your uncle is just kind of a like wham bam. You know, it's like, and Bob's your uncle. Like, and now it's done. Like, do this, that. Then
Bob's your uncle is a phrase used in the UK that means, and there it is.
Yeah, that's basically exactly what I just said.
And there it is, yeah.
Like,
and
wham,
there you
bam.
have it.
That's exactly what there it is means. Like, that's what that hand gesture means.
Bob's your uncle. Okay.
It's it's not a complicated phrase. It's just complicated in that it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it just sounds dumb.
I think it's funny when a guy's uncle's name is Bob, because then you talk about it and he goes, "Yep, that's my uncle."
You know what is kind of funny about that range day thing though is meeting all those people. You do realize in the crowd, especially obviously once you've been introduced, they always introduce. There's like the people that do the YouTube channel, and then there's like the people that are the editors.
The hierarchy.
Well, no, the editors are not the people that are used to social scenarios. No, because what I'm about to say sounds bad for Stalt now. I was going to say, like, when talking to these people, they introduce their editors. It's always the people that look like a deer in the headlights when you're talking to them. Like, they're not used to social interaction. They're like, there's like a lot of overwhelmed little editor people that were there, which was kind of funny. Yeah.
Out of their element at a range day.
I think
that's
at range day. Yeah, lots of loud noises, lots of talking, and they were like, "What the?
A deer at a range day? Okay, not good.
God, that'd be worse than being the one black guy. Yeah, that'd be horrible.
A lot worse.
Okay, so the last thing that I think all the action I had honestly happened while I was in the airport, like traveling to and fro.
What kind of action?
Not well. My flight there.
High club action.
No, my flight there. I was sitting next to literally a baby, just like the tiniest little baby.
Okay, well, I've got literally on my bullet point something very related, but how small?
Small? 3 months old, 4 months old.
Damn.
Yeah, so like a little.
Yeah.
And the lady was like
a mighty bean.
She was by herself. I think she was a single mom, and she was traveling to go see friends or family. And I think maybe I look like a guy that would eat that baby if left alone by it. Maybe not dangerous. I don't know. But she very quickly literally passed me the baby to hold.
Oh, yeah.
And so I spent like a good deal of the flight like, I honestly love little babies, so I'm sitting there just like, oh, little baby, oh. And I if you have like a 5-month-old, I mean, obviously if you're a dad, you've done this, but you sit there and you let them stand on your legs and you just hold them under the arms and they just go like, and they kick their little legs and stuff. I did that for like,
that's awesome,
half the flight. And then she was like, oh, the baby's got shit. And she would like pass, like, I was like a husband for like the 3-hour flight. She's like, pass me a diaper. Because I'm like next to the bathroom, so I would just go up and like throw away the diaper and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, and I even like
Abby
I carried. Well, she had a baby by herself. I carried all of her bags out of the plane and everything, and like waited for it. I was like, I don't even know you were the baby's name. Like, here you go. Here's your shit. And I just walked away. And I called Abby. I was like, I was just like a dad again, because I haven't. It's insane when you have a kid. Like my kid's like 3 now.
That's really nice.
I didn't realize how old my kid was until I was holding this baby again. I was like, oh my God, I haven't had a baby in a while. But that honestly rocked. Hold on. Everybody else really hates seeing the baby. Yeah. I was like, oh, I get a baby for a flight? Hell yeah. Whoa! And then the other flight, actually in the airport, by the way, have you ever seen someone so comfortable in their surroundings that you're just like jealous of how little they're impacted by what other people think of them? This Mexican guy in San Antonio airport he was yelling at his family across the entire like gate and was just like, I found a seat over here. I got a seat right over here, which is, of course, this open seat right next to me. Yeah. He sits down, opens up TikTok, and is just watching a teenage girl with her like cleavage out dancing. And he's just like, like full blast. He has like the music playing full blast.
I'm going to jerk off to this later. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's just, no, he has a hard hat sitting on his knee. He just got off the job site. He's flying home or whatever. He's sitting there laughing at this girl dancing in a bikini. And I swear to God, I look away for like 4 seconds. He goes from laughing to he puts his phone away and he's snoring with his head leaned on my shoulder in less than 2 minutes. I've never seen someone go from screaming, sitting down, looking at tits on TikTok to sleeping. Guys, dude, open mouth, just like.
Is that he came because like how else would he be so tired from watching that? You know, he's like,
it was like the most insane. I've never seen someone that comfortable in a public setting too.
I mean, that's crazy.
It was appalling.
That's so insane. That
guy
was
rocked.
On your shoulder. That's insane.
And then on my way out of there, you know how they have like the boarding like groups or whatever. Yeah. The whole plane is boarded, and this guy in like group 7 gets on, and the first thing he does, he doesn't sit in a seat. He gets to the back of the plane. And he just walks into the bathroom, shits in the back of the, like I buy the cheapest fucking tickets money can buy. Because I'm just like, dude, it's 3 hours. Like I'll sit on a cinder block for 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh, wait, by the way, we got to get squared my tickets sometime. Okay. Because I'm about to be, I'm drowning. But go on.
This guy, before the plane even has the fucking door closed, he goes in there and shits like IBS level, like emptying my colostomy bag level shit in the airplane toilet, walks out of the bathroom and just sits in his chair. And like the entire back of the plane is like, what the fuck, dude? They haven't even started circulating the air yet from the fucking vents.
It's going to smell like shit for an hour now. Like,
I've never seen, and he was just like, yeah, so what? I had shit. Like it was insane.
Another incredible level of comfort, just being able to be free and do without judgment.
I was inspired by these guys, by the way.
You're already like so close to being that guy because you don't give a shit about
self-inviting myself to cleans. Yeah,
snapping at fucking employees at places, farting and on people.
My way back. On my layover, I saw one of those massage chairs in the middle of the airport. Mm-hmm. I got myself a fucking massage. I was just feet up on my luggage.
Oh, you felt
had my
good?
Fucking man tits jiggling from the fucking the massage. I didn't give a fuck, dude.
That's cool.
Dude, getting a massage in one of those chairs rocks. I just don't like that they position them basically so you're just on display for everybody.
Yeah.
They're right in the middle of every gate. Everybody's looking at you.
You're like a gas station, like taquito, like just fucking rolling on the thing. Like everyone's just like, oh fuck, I'm gonna fuck that guy. I want to eat that guy up. And you're like, well, I'm just relaxing.
That's the first time I've ever felt that. Yeah, so
it's a good feeling. Yeah. People are walking by you like fucking. Just like, It's awful.
Fingering my mouth while I'm asleep.
Stop. Yeah. I actually have written on my bullet points about my plane ride. Because on both my leaving Florida from your house, there was already just this isn't even really noteworthy, but my flight got delayed so much that it was like, okay, basically I can get home at 4 a.m. or I can leave right now. We leave right now, and I lose my nice seating, and I go to the very back of the plane, and I, have to go to the airport, like speed out of the house. I missed Abby's dinner. I have to go there. So we did that, and I went.
Say bye to Gwen.
Yeah, I did say bye to Gwen. Yeah. I remember. I didn't say, the only person I didn't say bye to was Madeline, because she was all the way downstairs in that like playroom. Yeah. And they were like, say bye, Master Poob. And she's like, I'm like, oh, bye. Anyway, I get to the airport. It was like the whatever, whatchamacallit was going on. The NCAA, like, it's a game's happening right now that I wanted to watch, but I obviously care a lot about March Madness. And there was like a women's basketball team or something at the Tallahassee airport, or maybe it was at the next, and they were all very tall and pretty and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm a, God, like I'm gonna have to sit.
FSU women's basketball team?
I don't no, it was another school. It was like a Colorado school. No, they were traveling. I don't know why they were there. Anywho, I'm like, oh man, I'm not like, oh, am I gonna sit by these people on the plane? Like, I'm just thinking back to, and also I'm trying not to be a pervert because I'm like basically 30 at this point. 25. Like I'm halfway there. I'm like hitting it. But I just think back to like every time in college when I was ever in class with like a girl I had a crush on or something. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if we'll be random partners. Not once, like literally cursed, a generational curse or something, where there was this one girl that was in my computer science program where it's like, there's no girls in computer science at the time that were like really hot, It started to become a thing very quickly, which was insane because it's become a very good program. But I remember there's this one girl specifically where I'm like, this is the hottest girl ever. And I've got like 8 classes with her that all have random groups. It became like at a point like statistically like insanely improbable that we had never been grouped up together. And I never, got to, because she would have fallen in love with me. And then before this flight, I'm like, okay, this is like 90%. Like it was like 2 different teams of like, this is like all girl like athletes. My new seat is at the very back of the plane. I go back there, I get my seat. It's like, I had to throw a goddamn dart at the board with my eyes closed and hit the wall. I'm like in the one seat that is not by any of them, which also like I wouldn't really want to be by them because I'm going to be watching like cartoons on my iPad and stuff. So like I'd rather just be like by an old guy.
Yeah.
The guy coming towards me though, I'm like, yeah, this is the guy. It's like the assistant coach or something. This dude is like 6'5" and like probably like 700 pounds. Like, I don't know. Not really, but listen, I think planes should be built bigger. I think they should make the seats bigger for these people. But I just saw this thing going around on Twitter lately where they're like, they should put the fat people on a different plane or something. I'm like, no, hell no. Like, just make the plane bigger. This guy, as he's approaching me, he gives me a look, and I don't want to assume, but with this look, he basically said, hey man, sorry, I'm the fattest guy ever, and I'm actually in the window seat, so you're gonna have to get out, and I'm gonna have to sit by you, and I'm gonna be so fat I'm gonna be a nuisance, but I'm sorry. But really, he just gave me a like, and I was like, okay, and I got up, and he sat down, and I mean, this guy's legs were so big that it's only a 2-seater plane. That airport sucks ass. Like his leg is like half of my seat, and at a point when they are like,
for the audience, by the way, Tallahassee airport, it says it's an international airport. It's a fucking lie. Okay, the airport, you fly out of here in a cigarette plane,
and well,
it's like a private plane.
The airport itself has literal wires dangling everywhere and panel. I thought it was an art installation at first, and I asked him, I'm like, are they doing like an art thing there? Because it's like so insanely fucked up in that airport that it has to be intentional. He's like, no, they're doing renovations. I'm like, it's literally like everywhere you look, there's like wires and like exit signs hanging like 10 feet down. Like it's just, anywho, it's a shithole. And this guy, I felt so fucking bad. But when they passed out drinks and snacks, I was trying to put my table down. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this, of course, like this shitty ass plane in this seat, like the table's broken. And I was like, apparently, like, the bottom part is just hitting this guy's leg. And he woke up and was like, And I'm like, oh, shit, my bad. And I'm just mashing his leg down because it's so big. Like, I can't even put my tray down. And I'm like, goddamn. At this point, I'm starting to change sides on Twitter. I'm like, get this fat bastard away from me. I can't even eat my snacks. And Sam's paying for my ticket. Like, what the hell? You know how much money I'm losing here? But no, I was just like, damn. And I felt bad for him because he's like, oh, like, fuck, you know, like, it's clearly worse for him. Like, he's getting his leg mashed down, and then he's like,
you think that, but he gets 99% of his time. He gets to eat a lot of food, and it's usually probably delicious stuff. And then less than 1% of the time, he has to be uncomfortable on a plane seat.
Oh, he's probably uncomfortable on buses, regular
he's
cars.
Probably uncomfortable just sitting.
Tables at restaurants. Anyway, and then on my next flight, I have a real plane. And this is just all like incessant, like complaining from a guy that got to ride on a cool plane. But the two people next to me this time, they were smaller. So I was immediately like, well, this can't be worse by any degree. They're an old couple. And the old guy next to me, he's in the middle seat. He didn't put down the armrest. And I like tried to grab it at first. And then he like shuffled over and like blocked me from putting it down. And then his whole body's just like touching me. And I've got like a weird, you know, not autistic, nothing. I don't like being touched by these people. Yeah. And his whole body's touching me. Like arm, hip, like conjoined twins. Hip, leg. And I'm like I keep like moving over, and he's just this fat old guy. And he's like, and something, and this is where I feel bad. Like his wife, okay, there's two options here. She has some sort of neurological disease that's making her act this way, or she's a crazy bitch. I don't know what was going on, but she would randomly be like, oh, my leg. And she'd grab her leg and be like she'd start slapping the hell out of it and then stomping as hard as she could on the bottom of the plane. And I have my fucking noise canceling headphones on. I'm like, what the fuck? I listen, and she'd be like, and she'd be rubbing it. I'm like, I don't know if her sciatica's acting up or what, but she'd stomp the bottom of the plane so hard. And her husband would be like, honey, it's fine, it's fine. She'd be like, my leg. And then someone like hit the back of her chair at one point, and she's like, ow, there's somebody, what's behind me? And like loud, like speaking out loud. She's like, yeah, she was talking to her husband. She's like,
it is another person.
No, she was like, is it a kid? Is a kid kicking my chair? And I look back there, it's just like a middle-aged man. And he's like, fucking, he probably accidentally bumped her. And she's like, ow, like what hit me? Was that a kid? And I'm like, dude, this lady, either she literally like has no control of her volume and what she's doing, or she's just like the craziest bitch ever. And when the plane landed, I fucking hate people that get up too early, because it's like, we're not animals, you know, we're people. Like, you get up when it gets to you. And as soon as the plane landed, she was like, I want to get up. And he's like, no, honey, like, wait a minute. And I've got my headphones on, but I've paused the music and I have them open ear so I can just hear regular, but I look like I'm in another world. And she's like, tell that boy to get up. And I'm like, oh my God, bitch. Like, I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to sit here forever. And like, as it's like 10 rows ahead, she's like, tell that boy to get up. Like, God, like get him up, honey. And he's like, no, like, God, he's got his headphones on. Like, he can't hear us. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. You know, like, yeah. I'm like perving out. Like, I'm like, I hear you. I know, exactly. I know. Why? Like, the whole time, though, I'm just like, why would I get up? Because it hasn't gotten to you yet. There's 10 rows of people that have to get up and get their shit out of the top. And then when it's like 2 rows, she's like pushing her husband into me. And I'm like, oh, like I'm a very calm guy. I'm very quick to rage for some reason. I don't know what it is. But like at this point,
that's like the opposite of calm.
Yeah, like I'm very calm.
I'm a calm guy. But if you do one thing that inconveniences me or pisses me off
after a whole plane ride of just being like, I just wanted to be like, God. Like, but the fear of the no-fly list, like you can't do anything. But she's like literally being like, get him up, like get him, and like pushing her husband into me, and I'm just like, you know, I'm thinking about like, I'm thinking death, I'm thinking kill. These thoughts, wash over me like a waterfall. You know, I'm very calm. I'm very calm and collected. So I just waited my turn and then got up and looked at him and I went, you're a bitch. I hate you. And then I jumped at her. I shot her out the window. All right, bitch, your turn. But
so on the opposite end of that, by the way, on the way back, I was before my layover, my first flight out of San Antonio. I was at window seat, and I got in first, and I sat down, and then I kind of was just like sitting there watching House of the Dragon, right?
Oh yeah, good show.
I'm sitting there watching that on my iPad. I'm chilling, and I didn't pay attention to the people sitting next to me. Then by the way, I'm watching House of the Dragon. I get to like a scene, like it's the second or third or probably like fourth episode. There is just like a sex scene that happens
worst thing
in
on a plane. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, there's the skip ahead by 10 seconds.
Oh, you don't want to miss
it.
it.
Was 15 minutes. It got to the point where I was like, I just turned sideways, like, holy shit.
I'm not a pervert. I'm just watching the show on HBO.
It's that Rhaenyra or whatever goes
with the
she
guard.
Sneaks out. Goes out, she sneaks out, goes out with her uncle to a brothel, has like this insane like sexual thing going on for like 10 minutes, then comes back, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're good. I skip through all that, I'm fine. And then she like pulls the guard in and starts fucking him for like another 10 minutes. I was like, holy fuck, I missed that entire episode because I was just like, holy shit, like, and I had my brightness on all the way, and I was like, holy fuck.
You gotta rewatch that.
So I wasn't like I wasn't paying attention to those people at all. Then the plane lands and the thing comes up where it is our turn. People have gotten up and it's our turn. There's that very finite window of opportunity. You gotta be
quick, because the people behind you will suck you into the
exactly. And it gets to us and I'm like, let's go. And the guy looks at me and goes, we have to wait for a wheelchair. And I'm like, what? And I look at the lady that's aisle seat. Her legs are like that big around. She's got broomsticks for legs. And I was like, oh, like there's no walking on those, dude. She's not like a stork or something. So I said, I just had to wait like an asshole for until the rest of the plane emptied out. But it was so insane. Like I basically held my tongue. I was just like, oh, like I like looked at him. Yeah, I looked at him and I didn't say shit. I just looked at him like now's our opportunity. Like seize it. And I just did the motion to get up, and he was like, oh, we have to wait for a wheelchair. And then I just saw the legs, and I'm not. What am I gonna do? Like grab them and see if they move? Dude,
that old bag.
I was like, I'm just gonna keep watching my porn. Okay, I'm just.
Dude, I can't. I have to like selectively. It's so insane. But yeah, if I'm watching something where I'm like, there might be a sex scene in this, I'll download it on my phone also. That way I can be like, okay, let's go a little more covert. But like, I was watching like a movie like Scooby-Doo or something where I'm like, this has got to be a safe bet. And like a big like bikini scene came on. I'm like, oh man, like on an iPad, I'm like, everyone's gonna think like I don't want like people watching me watch this.
Yeah.
And be like, it was this guy watching like beach comp or something, you know? Like I just feel like a pervert. You can hardly watch anything from HBO on there because they love their sex scenes. And
they do, man. They do.
It's crass. And I don't like crass.
Yeah. I didn't think that whole 20-minute sex scene with her uncle serviced the plot at all.
Well, you wouldn't know.
But I'm going to go back and study it to see if I'm right.
Under a microscope, I will be watching this. Yeah.
I will be pixel peeking, looking for any CGI or see if they are doing it authentically or not.
I honestly should rewatch the first season of that before the second season comes out. And what's the name of the, not Rhaenyra, but Alicent? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Have you been? There's still like kids when you're watching it. I don't want to give any spoilers.
No,
no time skip.
There is like the weird time skip where I was like, wait, that's
because like the casting very similar. Yeah,
it is similar, but it's I think it's pretty obvious that the lady that plays Rhaenyra as a 14-year-old is a little bit. It's not the same person.
That's a lot. The Alicent one's a lot closer. Like it's pretty insane. But the older Alicent is in Slow Horses, and she's really good in that. But then she disappears, and I'm like, Did they do that because House of the Dragons? That sucks. Or maybe it's in the book that it's based on or something. But...
House of the Dragon, by the way, for you guys that in the audience that like Game of Thrones. Why did I
make you watch Slow Horses?
I was big. You've preached to me about Slow Horses.
I know, but I should have made you watch it while I had the opportunity.
Watch it while we were there.
Yeah, but it's gone.
I had Game of Thrones fatigue, so to speak, and when House of the Dragon came out, I was not big on it.
Came out like 5 years after it ended, but
yeah, I was still just like,
I know it's so you're scorned at the end of
I was like, fuck you. Like House of the Dragon is its own isolated thing, and it does it very well, and it's scaled down, so to speak. Like it's a much more like
recent. Didn't you and Abby watch like the first episode or something and then stopped, or did you just start?
Yeah, I just watched like the first or second episode. I was like, it didn't interest me, but the more I've watched it, the more I've realized it's just like a much more intimate. Yeah, like it's just like 2, maybe 3 person perspective. Like the scale isn't there, but I kind of enjoy that more because it's less ambitious. There's less to fuck up too.
They just cast for another Game of Thrones offshoot, Dunk and Egg, which is
that book's supposed to rock. Yeah, by the way,
I've heard good things. I haven't read it, but another little Targaryen and Knight show. I'll watch that. I'll suck it up.
Yeah, I'll watch it. And that book is supposed to be much more like just one like person's perspective.
Yeah, like 2 guys doing their.
You're just following. I think it's supposed to be like almost like when Brienne has Pod, her little squire, and she's just kind of going through the country. I think it's like that, but its own story
with smaller penises.
Yeah,
than Pod because he's got a big one.
Either that or he eats pussy, which I feel like would probably be rare back then.
Why? I don't know. I feel like it's natural.
Why?
Like, you blow me, I eat you.
Dude, I didn't see a bar of soap in Game of Thrones. Okay, that's why I didn't see nothing. I didn't see I didn't see a single person like washing in a fucking. I didn't see a Dove bar of soap or nothing.
Pretty grotesque, but there's also some beautiful, clean people. What the House of Roses people or whatever. What are they? The Tyrells?
Tyrells, yeah.
I'd eat out everyone in that house. The old lady,
Elena. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Woo. I like a lady with some sharp wit.
Yes,
with every conversation's like a sword fight,
Yeah.
And then our romp in the bedroom would be equal.
It wouldn't be equal. It'd be 99% me eating her out, and 1% her going, oh.
No, her yelling at me in a scathing tone.
No, her busting in my mouth. All her thrush. Yeah. Come on, this crash.
Old lady.
Yeah. Old lady. Fucking the dam's broken. All her wetness shoots into my mouth. I don't really know how that works.
A lady like Elena, she would be turned into a husk.
Yeah.
There can't be much moisture left in her. She's already a raisin, dude.
I don't know. Maybe she puts.
You would get 100% of her wetness in your mouth, and you'd look up, and she'd be like a mummy.
Maybe she swallows a little balloon filled with lime juice or something, and then when it gets down there, I pop it with my tongue. I don't know how it works. I've never eaten out an old person, but I'd imagine there's some sort of system that they had back then, so that you can get a little wetness. But I don't really know.
I figured they just had like how they have a cupbearer that come refill your wine glass whenever. I figured they just had
like a neti pot for your nose, but they put it in your pussy.
Your pussy. I was gonna say just a squire boy to come in and spit on it. Yeah. But yeah. Let me moisten it for you, my lord. You know what?
What?
I wonder if Klean would be open to coming on here as a guest and talking about some of this adrenochrome stuff, because when I like in my mind, like it was so insane, but like he says it in such a convincing way, He is like that, like a warrior sage. By the way, he's got like cauliflower ear. I saw that and I was like, can I touch it? I've never touched cauliflower ear before.
Gross.
And he was
it's
like,
gross, but it's also badass in a way.
Yeah, because
like,
when you're someone as handsome as he is, it's like you see that and you're like, oh, this guy's like handsome, but he also could fuck you up.
But he fights. Yeah,
but
I
he
would
also fights.
Never. It's also like it's a good thing to notice on people. Like if you're gonna get, you think a bar fight's amping up or something.
Yeah,
they have
attack him
cauliflower
in the ear. He doesn't guard his ear.
Cauliflower ear, and you don't, and you're aware of it. Probably don't.
Yeah.
Probably don't fuck with them at all. But also, like I knew kids in high school that were not good at wrestling that would intentionally give themselves cauliflower ear by slamming their head on the mat and like getting slammed because it's like a sign of reaching a point, of progress.
He doesn't seem like
I'm not. No, I would not. I'm not. I'm not
no.
saying he is. I'm just saying.
No, there are people.
I knew
that do
people that intentionally got it, like through very shortcut ways of just like. I have CT and my head hurts, but my ears are all puffy and gross now. Not that they're gross, but God, dude, my gym teacher, biggest.
Not that they're gross. It's called cauliflower ear. Of course, it's gross. He's got like like mangled ogre ears.
My gym teacher had like the craziest fucking cauliflower ear because he was like a collegiate wrestler, and I've never had more beef with a teacher ever. He was just such a fucking douchebag. Yeah, but he couldn't hit me because I was a kid. So, like, of course, he could rip my head off in, like, 0.2 seconds, but he couldn't do anything to me because I'm a kid, and I fucking wanted him to hit me. I'd say, fucking get me right here. Make my fucking day, pal.
Right here, bitch.
Yeah, give me some cauliflower fucking cheek, dude. See what happens. Your ass will be in jail. Yeah, he's a douchebag, but his... I don't want to get into it, actually. I was going to talk about some... edifice.
I feel really bad for I had a track teacher in my high school that it's a high school track teacher. Like it can't be a great position to be in, to be honest. And
depends on the high school.
At our high school, we weren't known for track or anything like that. And I had just kind of seen him around and I was like, oh, that's our track teacher or whatever. Like he was kind of we weren't known for track by any means. I found his little office one day. It's like the smallest office down like behind the gym, deep in the bowels of the gym, like way in the back. And I think he shared his office with like the air conditioner for the building. And in there, he had a gold Olympic medal. He was a fucking Olympic track medalist.
That's awesome.
And I was like, dude, is this what happens to our nation's best? They end up being high school teachers for track.
You're better than a veteran, and now look what we've done to you.
Come on,
that's too sad.
I don't know. It was just like sad. He just had it hanging up there on the wall.
Was your gym teacher's office in the locker room, or anyone?
One of them was, okay. The one that I hated.
So insane to me.
Yeah,
that our gym had a teacher with a window in the locker room. And our stalls didn't have doors. And I'm not saying he's a pervert, because he probably isn't. But I almost wish he was. That way I could have one more thing to hold against him.
I kind of get it, though, because our gym...
It didn't stop anything, dude. There was fights in the locker room all the time. There's people...
I was about to say, that's what ours did. Was he was just
all
like...
the time.
He spent 90% of his time breaking up fights in the locker room.
You sprayed Jane off in his room half the time. You had like frosted windows. There were probably somehow one side, he could see us, but we couldn't see him. No, it's like I swear to God, every fight in the locker room, it's like I forgot this guy even had a goddamn office in here. I never saw him once.
A fight broke out. He would just close the door and lock it, and nothing sexy's happened.
Yeah, take your towels off. Then fight. Try whipping each other with the towels.
Fish hook his asshole. Dude, it gets him.
There's nothing more backwards than a high school locker room, too. Like, I remember the basketball team, like, I wasn't on it, but my friends on it, talking about, like, if they showered and weren't naked, people would call them, like, the F slur and be like, what are you trying to hide? It's like, Is this the gayest option to wear, swimming trunks? Like, if we're, thinking about this logically, and then they just, get like the shit kicked out of them or something, or called gay forever. And it's just like,
you know what Bizzle told me? He was like, the most masculine things I've done in my life were also the gayest. Where you're just like,
I don't. It's like
in the military, just naked with other dudes.
Is that like a masculine thing, though?
I guess so. I don't know. Some sort of Sparta mentality.
I think the real masculine
Spartans,
thing
they
is,
were having sex with women.
Yeah, Spartans were like kind of fucking losers, though.
Spartans were like
mind over
Akkadian rules. Yeah.
They're famous for what?
Spartans
losing
were actually
a big fight or something.
Yeah. Sending an incredibly small amount of people to
like all
basically on a suicide mission.
Every Greek nation was just like, these guys are fucking assholes, and they're
asshole and they're super gay.
Oh, we ate those gay losers. I ate the Spartans. Those guys.
And I think like Xerxes is like a fucking chill dude too. He's
he's chill.
He's like, just cool. Bend the knee. You can like keep your shit, dude. Like, I don't fucking care.
But you guys,
and he had people carry him into like that's awesome. Come on.
He's like, guys, just be a little less gay and chill out. And the Spartans are like, no fucking way, no way,
no.
I don't know. When I was a kid, every kid's like, Spartans are the coolest guys ever. And then I read,
because you watched that fucking Spartan propaganda film.
Well, then I read a book that was like Spartan propaganda, but it was also like really about like their slave trade and like, or about just like the slaves that were there. And the main character in the book was like a slave in Sparta. And I was like, oh, like these guys aren't as cool as the movie makes them out to seem, and then you read a little bit more. We need to get an
actual ancient Greek historian on here, because I'm pretty sure the reason why they were so into like their military life was because they had such a huge slave population, and then the slave population revolted on them and kicked their ass, and they were like, okay, that's never happening again. We're gonna be gayer than ever. We're gonna be into the military like super hardcore. And we're never gonna fuck our wives. We're only gonna fuck each other.
We're gonna breed super conjoined twin soldiers that can hold this whatever, the gap at Thermopylae or whatever. We get a bunch of conjoined twins.
Have you seen the gap at Thermopylae, by the way? That Hell's Gates or whatever. I was like, I want to see where that, because that's a historical thing. It actually happened, and so I was like, I want to see where it is. It's just an interstate now.
Oh.
It's like, The Persians can just drive a fucking car all the way into Sparta.
No,
it's not even a toll booth or
showing
anything.
like a Spartan on iPhone, like going back in time, be like, it's a goddamn highway. And they're sending Persian rugs back and forth all the time. Yeah, they've got these Persian rugs, but you're not allowed to gay bang on them in front of a fireplace.
Omid should just make a stream where he's just fucking hauling ass going 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, like drunk as
from
hell,
Persia
flying down.
Yeah, just smoking a cigar.
Yeah, that would. I mean, yeah. I bet Omid would love to do that. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He's like, I'm Persian. I'm like, oh, is that like Turkish or something? He's like,
no.
All I know of Persia is like Sparta stuff.
Yeah. So you're like the bad guys from 300 or something.
Yeah. Well, that's where that whole like he's Italian came from. Was he was like, I was like, so it's like Turkey or something? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, so you're like Italian or something? He's like,
no.
Further from the point.
Go a little
Not
more
at all.
Middle, a little east. Okay, so you're like what? Like freaking like, from somewhere?
Roman or something? I don't know.
From the Prince of Persia or something? Like, I don't understand. There's not even a place there anymore. It's really confusing. I always loved. I just thought Omid was a like moniker. And then one day I'm like, wait, dude, I just realized like I've never known your real name. He's like, yeah, you do. Like, my name is just Omid, and I'm like, that's not a name, you know? Like, come on, that can't be. Well, it's not like Dylan or something. Like, what do you mean? And he's like, no,
your name's like Brett, right?
I don't understand. I don't understand. And he's like,
I'm Persian,
yeah.
and you're like the bad guys from 300.
I got my spear. I got my shield wall.
Yeah.
You guys
You're
have
those guys that
with
don't
freaks.
fuck other dudes.
Yeah. You guys have sex with like mutants or something, or you let them have sex with your chicks. I don't really remember. And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?" And I'm like, "Oh shit." And yeah, he's pretty mad at me. I got canceled on Twitter for like a couple months, and then we good. It's fine. But yeah, it is. It's a crazy place. It's like from 300 and like they're bad guys. And I'd probably like a Bond villain or something. I don't know. They do some stuff. The only other bullet point.
Yeah.
I have two others. One being Eclipse Monday. You're nowhere near the line to see the eclipse, are you?
No, it's traveling northeast from you, southwest.
Indiana is in a goddamn prime zone of.
But I did see the one that passed through Savannah, Georgia. Absolute majesty. Okay, there's a couple things that are on my bucket list that I have to see before I die. I have to do before I die.
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights is up there.
Yep.
I want to write a book. I want my kids not to die before me, and I had to see the solar eclipse in totality, which I saw in Savannah, Georgia. It was incredible. Are you going to see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's Monday. I'm in the zone already in Indy.
Hell yeah.
If
you're in the zone, you don't need the little things. You can get them, but you don't need them.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust you. I feel like I still.
Oh no! Like once it's completely eclipsed and it's just dark, you just look up and see it. Like you see the aura and everything. Aurora or whatever it's called.
Oh no, yeah, I need to make sure. I might have to go. Like technically, I think a little south is better.
Yeah. Are you gonna make like a stupid Twitter video? Who turned the lights out?
No, I saw one in 2017 that was pretty cool. And you know, we've talked about this before, but like how the shadows look and everything, but I've never seen like a total one. And that book I just read, Malice by Jonathan Gwynn, is got a big element in the first book about an eclipse. So I'm gonna be like, that's from that book. And like Berserk and other shit. So I'm gonna be like probably Jay Chilling, probably check it out on Monday. And then that will be it. I bought some Eclipse glasses off Amazon that are like plastic, and you know, you look through them and you can't see a goddamn thing. They're so black, but you can look at the regular sun right now. Yeah, and it's kind of cool. And I took them off my eyes. They're a little.
I bought some of that film and I put it on the end of a 200 millimeter lens. I made like
That's cool.
I made my own custom lens cap that has it on there in order to capture a picture. Hold on. It's cliche. This picture's been taken by everybody, but it's mine.
Yeah.
I took it.
It's cool.
And with my own little ghetto lens cap.
Yeah, it's cool.
And just proud of it. And it was just a cool moment to see. If you guys haven't seen the eclipse, I'd go check it out. Yeah. It's awesome to see. Have you heard the story of Columbus, by the way? Guy was, he's a psychopath. He's like one of the worst people ever made, but he had kind of like an insane move he did on the people of, I believe he called it Hispaniola. I don't know what that is now. It's like some island in the Caribbean. Maybe it's not Haiti. I don't know what island it was. Maybe modern day Cuba. Anyways, he landed there and he was like, oh shit, I need to get back to Spain and I don't have any food. And so he like demanded of the people of the island. He was like, give me some fucking food, enough for me to get back to Spain. And they were like, dude, we don't have farms here. We're like, we just kind of like walk out and grab a coconut and like vibe all day. Okay. We're just hanging out. Like we're non-agrarian people. And they were like, we're not going to give you this shit. They got like sick of them. And so they had them, I think they had them kind of like, knife at his throat type thing where they kind of had him hostage. And he was a student of astronomy. And he told him, like,
hey guys, I'm a Gemini, and if you freaking I'm joking.
He was like, if you don't give me some fucking food, the sun is literally going to blot out. My God is going to be pissed. And because he knew a solar eclipse was happening, like, guy's luck is 1 in a million. He knew that
study of astronomy, you know, it's
even if you're a studier of astronomy, like, what are the chances that the part of totality is going to pass through Cuba at the time that you're demanding food to get back to Spain?
Right
like, it's
now.
Yeah.
In 3.
He was like, no. I think it was like, in 2 days' time, the sun's going to blot out if you don't fucking give me some food. And when the sun went out, they were like, here's your food.
Yeah.
And they gave him his food. He went back, and then he came back and massacred all of them, and it was horrific.
1,000 coconuts for you.
If he was kind of like worse at astronomy, those people would have been A-okay and safe, which is why I think everybody in the audience of this show should drop astronomy and adopt astrology. Because our boy Rick Levine, he taught us the true shit. Okay,
he rocked.
He was cool,
and he rolled.
Yep.
And he taught us about love and magic.
I feel like that guy gets a lot of pussy. I feel like he is drowning in astrology chick pussy.
I feel like
on the daily.
So much. I don't know. I do something about it. No, yeah. That guy definitely gets a lot of pussy. Trust me. Yeah. And I hope he's doing well. And he also makes like a fuck ton of money. From the sound of how much he charged for like I'll read your fucking whatever your shit. He just plugs your birthday in that program. It's like $500. I mean, that's goddamn, that rules.
A scam. What an awesome scam.
I want to become like
that's like an Ed and Eddie level scam, and he's made it a career. It's awesome.
You're kind of being a bitch right now because you haven't given me my money. But you can see in your future, if you give me my fucking money, you could be a real pimp. And they're like, okay, I'll fucking... Yeah. No,
I actually see no pussy in your future until your credit card passes muster.
Oh, you're kind of coming off broke right now, and it's kind of...
Yeah, horoscopes indicating brokey vibes right now.
You're going to probably die in a couple months as of right now. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I could see you dying if you don't give me my fucking...
Yeah, your card got declined, so if you...
it says
horoscopes changed for the worse now that the cards got declined.
It says I'm going to kill you if you don't give me my fucking money. What the hell? And this is not a legal threat. I'm just saying.
No.
The horoscopes are telling me that
I don't want to. I'm Rick Levine. I'm an astrology master. I don't want to. The stars are telling me it's going to happen if your credit card doesn't
to a point where I want to fucking kill you. If you don't give me
if your next credit
money.
card gets declined, I could see the stars are indicating to me right now.
I don't want to see this. I don't like it, but the devil is telling me that I'm gonna kill you.
No, Saturn.
Yeah,
Saturn's
sorry.
telling Saturn.
Yeah, the God
Saturn's
of War.
telling me that if the next card gets declined, I'm going to stab you in the eye with a pin. That's what's gonna happen.
It's saying that I'm going to send first 2 guys to break your legs. And then a month after that, I'm going to come and kill you. Oh, Gemini, 2 twins are going to come. Okay, there's Siamese twins are going to come break your fucking legs.
He's going to see this and be like, oh, by the way, Sam's horoscope said his penis is like this big.
Shrink. Oh. I'm going to look down my pants tomorrow and be like, God, Rick, no.
No, Rick. You didn't pay me for that consultation. You shit on me.
Yeah, you said I get too much pussy. I've got magic powers. He goes from this, what I've currently got, to this. No. Jesus Christ, man, I can't even take anything from you. Jeez Christ, the horoscopes are saying your dick's so small. You got no money and no pussy already. God.
Dude, he's like a modern day court wizard. Like the amount of power you hold, you know,
This should,
it's insane.
There should be like Joe Biden should have that guy with him at all times, just being like.
I would love for a modern day president to have like a fucking you know, like a court wizard, like a Rick Levine, or you know, just like, who's that guy that fucked all the Russian
Maryland
aristocracy? No, not Maryland.
Oh, you're talking about wizards that fucked Russians?
No, he's the guy that got like first he was poisoned, then he was stabbed, then he was rolled up in a carpet and put in the water, and they couldn't kill him.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I keep like trying to come up with his name, and all I can think of is Nosferatu. That's not right. You know,
Stalin,
the
what
Russian
the hell are you talking
vampire
about?
guy.
I don't know.
Nosferatu. Hold on, let's find.
Nosferatu, a famous Russian.
Yeah, Russian court wizard man.
Oh, wait. You're talking about... Oh, wait, don't tell me.
Rasputin.
Damn it, I said don't tell me. I knew it. Yes, god damn it.
Rasputin.
God damn it.
Yeah, so anyways, Nosferatu.
It took me you saying famous Russian court wizard guy. I'm like, oh, now I know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, Biden should definitely have a Rasputin type. Just
more
kind
like
of
a
like
Rick Levine
in the
thing.
background, always doing a hand steeple, you know, with like a big fucking pointy hat.
Yeah. Oh my lord, things are looking good. Yeah, if I were president, it would become. Ooh, that sounds bad. I don't want to say feudal immediately,
but there would definitely be a breakdown.
There would be an immediate, like, I'm basically God sent. This is my wizard. These are my like faithful knights that will kill anyone. I got like all the Navy SEALs like around my
SEAL
round
Team 6
table.
would immediately drop the BDUs and they would get plate armor.
I'd say, I don't give a shit about other countries. You watch my back at all times now.
Yeah.
And then I'd have like a bunch of bitches I'm banging, like a bunch of court jesters that are dancing.
My life would look like a Frank Frazetta painting.
Yeah.
I would definitely just have like a bodacious babe like in a cage next to me.
I'd have like shield men. I'd have like all sorts of cool stuff. Guys with spears, wizards.
There'd just be a guy in my court that would just have a big snake.
Yeah. I mean, why
just
not?
There.
Yeah.
Just there.
And he like listens to it and then he talks and he's like, yes, we think. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome. That guy's probably talking to a snake. Maybe not. Probably not.
I don't care.
I don't care because he's doing it. Because he's like, yes. And then he's like, my lord. Like he talks like a snake a little. Love a guy like that. At that point, though, you're clearly evil. You're clearly, if you have a guy in your court that's talking to a snake, you're not the good guy anymore.
I don't give a fuck, dude. You know what? Fair. My first like State of the Union, I will walk up and be like, "You guys have been concerned about the dwindling middle class. Well, don't worry about it because you are now all serfs. Yeah. Okay, the middle class is gone.
It's not even something.
You don't have to worry about it. There's me." And then there's you guys, okay? It's a completely different realm right now.
Rich serfs, okay? There's dukes.
The aristocracy that you have is just this guy that talks to a snake and my homie Rick Levine.
He's better than you. He's better than you. I don't know what they do exactly, but they're...
Rick Levine has a fucking shirt with crescent moons with faces on them.
They make like $1 billion a year now, and you guys all make nothing. And that's just what's happening. Yeah.
You guys toil. Yeah. I don't know what toiling is, but you do that.
Think and do and build. Yeah. Oh my God. Give everyone some farmland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bring back thatch roofs. I feel like houses suck. They don't have thatch roofs anymore. What's up with that?
I see a guy on TikTok that...
I miss the time when your neighbor pisses you off. You light his fucking roof on fire with a torch and it burns down his house in like 12 seconds. What happened to that world?
Or you just be like, I'm going to kill my neighbor. And you can. And there's no forensic...
You pitchfork him and you say it's a farming accident.
I think a cow kicked him in the head or something. Yeah, I don't know. He's been hit in the head like 20 times by a baseball or like a horse kicked him. I don't fucking know. I just kill a guy and make his horse step on him a bunch and be like, what?
I don't even say that. I say, I killed him. He was a witch.
Yeah. He was a warlock of evil origin, and I ate his heart. Now I've got good
and then
power.
I go, let me confer with my court wizard to see if you're tried. Rick Levine, is that true?
I hold up a
and he goes,
seashell.
yeah, that guy was an evil wizard.
And what does the snake say about all this? What is the snake saying? I'd have a falcon or something that's just like, yeah. God,
when I find a serf pesky in my court, I release my falcon on him.
Okay, you know what, bitch? I got 100 falcons back in my house. Why don't you come over to my house? I bring the serf over there. 1,000 falcons.
Feed.
They're raised on flesh. They've got the appetite of a crow. But yeah, I mean, I think we'd be evil is what it's sounding like. I'd be torturing. I'd be doing crazy killings. I'd get away with anything I want. Rick Levine would be my grandpa. I would be doing all sorts of wizardry. Okay.
If Rick Levine's there, dude, and he's saying it's okay. All right. Who am I?
He's scared as hell.
I'm making these bad decisions. He says it's it's destiny. He says it's predetermined.
Yes.
This is a path that was laid out for me.
Yes, my lord.
I didn't want to put these falcons on eat this guy, you know?
I mean,
I didn't want the dude that talks to a snake in this room.
I trained him to eat people, but I didn't want to make him do it. Like I didn't want to see it happen ever.
I fired the last guy that said you can't make falcons eat people. I said that could happen because Rick Levine says this is my path. Okay, and I must adhere to it.
They'll eat like roadkill and like rabbits and squirrels. No,
I said I'll make the people smell like roadkill. I'll turn them into serfs.
I'll put a goddamn wear this rabbit cape I got. This is cool. Put this on. Yeah. You're like the world's biggest rabbit. The only thing that can kill you is like, I don't know, 1,000 hawks. It's so stupid.
Yeah, Rick rocked.
Yeah, Rick. Thanks for killing those guys for us. Doing the wizard stuff. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, he's our Grandma Wormtongue.
He's one of the more like divisive guests we've had on because
really,
I don't know, just from the comments, people are either like, "This is crazy, this rocks," or like, "This is crazy, I fucking hate you." People have
why can't something be crazy and rock? You know, that's why. Like, I want like
Buffalo 66.
Yeah, I want Klean on to talk about adrenochrome. Like, I don't believe that they're wringing out babies to make it, but he certainly does.
I don't know,
and it would seem insane. Like, I want to hear more about it.
Rocks. I like. What are they doing? Like a towel? Like, or is there more science? Like, I don't know.
I think it might be like that Half-Life thing where they have that bug and then they squish it to like get your health back. Yeah, they have like a baby squisher or something.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I don't actually want to joke about that. I think that's fucking funny. Now, if you could get
but tearing apart a surf with 1,000 falcons.
That's just old timey funny. You could tell that to a king 1,000 years ago. You'd think that's hilarious.
You're like, hell yes, I'm doing this wrong.
Oh my god, not just like 10 falcons, like 1,000. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
It'd be like fiddlesticks.
Yeah. Yeah. You open up your jacket and there's 1,000 in it. My trench coat. Why is your trench coat fucking like
gooey?
Yeah. There's like bird shit everywhere you walk. There's like a mountain of it. No, never mind that. You know.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Texas was awesome. I don't think I'll be going back.
Well, yeah, it's a good thing to go to, you know, just to see, check it out.
No, it was one of the, like, a lot of the people that I met there that, like, I actually might go back to range day just to go oogle and ogle again. But no, like,
be like, is
you
Wendigoon
go there?
here? Is Meat in here?
Meat in here. No, there's cool people mucking about, but I went there and I was like, this is like YouTuber Mecca now. Like everybody's moving here. Yeah. And the place is a fucking desert, dude. It fucking sucks. Outside, it's just like dry little shrubs everywhere, and it's real just like every fucking road is being worked on by construction crews, and the whole place is laid out horrifically. It's worse than Tallahassee in terms of like, which I didn't think could get worse. Like if I'm going to move from here, I'm going to move to a better city.
Yeah. It's got the same, like,
it was a step down
hot element, but it's a step down in a lot of natural beauty in a lot of elements. And then it's like, I don't know. At that point,
I got canopy roads.
Yeah.
We got canopy roads here. Okay. If you guys don't know what a live oak canopy road is, look it up. At least we got that when it's 100 degrees outside, 90% humidity.
And you got gators. Those are cool. Manatee. Those are cool.
Manatees are pretty cool.
What do they have in Texas? Armadillo and
Drewski was telling me they have pigs.
Oh yeah, there's like wild hogs.
And I was like, when you kill them, do you eat them? He's like, I ain't eating that shit. He was like, dude, you cut those fucking things open and they just got worms. Like they were 100% infested with shit worms. Dude, Drewski's fucking real as hell, awful. Dude. Those guys have okay, so they apparently hogs are like they're a pest. Yeah, they're invasive.
Yeah, they're incredibly
Those guys are so fucking rich over there because the gun tuber guys.
Yeah, helicopter rides just to fucking nuke them, you know? Yeah.
Well, the like Demolition Ranch, and which I don't know if you guys knew this, but Drewski, his brother is the Demolition Ranch guy, and they like I think Demolition Ranch, a donut operator, I think even Klean, they at the end of the year, if they want to like spend extra money in order to get, you know, if they have like some cash stockpiled, instead of like saving that and getting taxed on it, they'll buy weapons, they'll buy like guns and then write it off as a business expense because they kind of retain value in the long run. And so like Drewski, he's like, yeah, we just like have like assault rifles and shit, and we go like riding around with night vision and optics and stuff and thermals and shoot hogs. And then because it's a big plot of land that they own, they actually can write it off too for leaving the corpse there, leaving the hog there, because then coyotes and other animals will scavenge off of it. You're technically helping the rest of the environment by just like shooting a hog and leaving its corpse there to be eaten on.
Just like put a grenade right in the hog mouth, blow it up. Yeah, we've got
like it was a Stinger missile to fucking family of 20 hogs that were eating.
Yeah, we got like these brass knuckles with spikes on them. We just like beat the shit out of a pig, hog. What's the difference? Find a farm pig, find a hog, whatever. They're all.
It's a different world, dude. Yeah. It is a completely different world.
Have you heard of like the super hogs? Like they're growing like. They're getting bigger and like the idea of
we gotta assemble a crew. It turns into Monster Hunter. We got 2 helicopters.
I find that exciting. Like I obviously don't have to deal with it, but like the idea of like super hogs attacking people is awesome. In the way of like, I'm sure they love that too. You know, they're like, I want to shoot a super hog. You know, like who wouldn't?
Dude, Klean brought me out on his back porch, and he was like, look at this, and he handed me some binoculars. One half of it was like a Reaper infrared it was like a Reaper thermal,
like black
scope.
And white, or like
you look at a person and they're white.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, and then the other side was like the blue night vision, and I'm sitting there just like,
that's sweet. I mean, that's awesome as fuck.
Like, yeah, I was like, this is fucking. I don't want to like give away. Like I'm looking at other people's houses with this shit.
You look like hog from here.
Get the rifle clean.
Oh, I see a big one.
I see some varmint, dude. I'm about to save you some fucking tax money at the end of the year.
Oh shit!
About to set up a scavenge party over here.
Leave the body.
No, I was holding. I was like, "How much is this?" And he's like, "That's like $9,000 worth of optics." I was like, "What the? I think all of my equipment's like $9,000." Like, and Abby's like, "You got like a little Spielberg set up down there." No, I do not. I don't have shit down here compared to what they have.
Binoculars worth more than my
They
house.
have, not even including the rest of it. He says fucking $9,000 in optics. Are you kidding me?
So sweet though. I mean, like those, like all of my basically Ohio family, and shout out if you guys are, listen to this ever, but they're very much like gun range. What I'd imagine gun range people are like. A lot of them are like, I don't know. They've got some crazy ideas where, like, when I talk to them, they're just like saying shit where I'm like, man, I don't think that's real. Okay, sure. It's like, oh, I don't know about that one. Like, oh,
I like those.
Yeah.
I like the people that are like not plugged into the culture war, but they just have wild ideas.
Yeah.
I'm more okay with that.
And like, I grew up around them. Like, I really like they're all hunters and stuff. It's fine, and I like them because they're okay with, like, the first time they took me hunting, I'm like, I hate this. Yeah. They're like, okay, we'll never take you again. I'm like, thanks. But there's something like the younger generation. Like, my uncle's very like, well, I don't give a shit, whatever. Like, you don't like this stuff, I'll make you do it. My cousin, he's stuck with me, like, since he joined the military. Last time my dad and I saw him, we were out, like, camping, and when we were leaving, we're like, all right, hey, like, love you, man. Like, it's been years. Like, gave him a hug. We're like, love you. Like, miss you, Like, we grew up together. And he's like, none of that homo shit. Like, I'm not, like, nah. He's like, I love you too, but, like, no homo. Like, this isn't gay. And my dad's like, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, you're my nephew. Like, yeah, of course I'm not, like, trying to fuck you. Like, what do you even mean by that? And he's like, he's like, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about the, like, love you or whatever. I'm like, God damn, man. Like, like we've been cool forever. Like, I'm not trying to fuck you either. Me and my dad are not trying to Eiffel Tower you. Like, we just are saying, like, we love you. And he's like, like, that's too far.
Since he had such a knee-jerk reaction to it, he was thanking it. He wanted you to.
It's definitely what it was. He's probably gayer than all of us,
Yeah, he was like, oh, I hope they try. I'm so fucking ready.
And I don't want you guys to bounce on it. And I'm just saying that. And I don't want that. And we're like, I didn't even. My dad was like, I wouldn't even bounce on it if you paid me. And he's like, oh, good, because. I mean, how much? Good. Like, I wouldn't know.
Because I haven't been wearing a plug for the past day, just waiting.
Because I hate bouncing.
I'm prepped.
I hate bouncing, and I don't want to talk about that. But it was just such a, like, jarring. I don't know, almost like I don't even know I don't even have a point. But, like, when we were kids, and, like, the divide was lesser, and now it's, like, greater. Of, like, my cousin is just like, hey man, are you trying to fuck me? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it's just insane.
Nobody's trying to fuck you, dude.
Oh, whoa, chill. I don't know. It's just interesting to.
It is weird, like, aside from the political part, but the internet has made people very fearful of stuff that doesn't happen in normal, everyday life. Just like, just living with people. Talking to normal people. I don't think I've ever had truly a bad experience. I've had, like, funny experience, like the Mexican guy that was just, like, laughing at TikTok and then fell asleep in, like, 2 minutes. Like, that's funny to me, but, like, I didn't feel threatened by that guy. Like, I've never.
When that head touched my shoulder, I'd be going, turning that around.
What are you, gay? You trying to fuck me? Like I don't
like some sort of gay illegal trying to get on me. Trying to get abortion on me.
I think people, like, are too I don't even know the word for it. I don't want to say reactionary, because I know that actually that's like a term that has a definition for it.
So you want to make up a new term?
Yeah, I want to make up a new term.
I think
People that are like
all
knee-jerk reactions
weepy,
to stuff where they're like, I've been on the internet or I've been watching the news too much, and I think this is going to happen to me when it's not. It's actually people are way more laid back than you would think.
I don't know if it's like related, but I've even seen have you even seen all this stuff on like Twitter about humiliation rituals? It's like been now so like everything, like it's one person
like John
says
Cena coming up naked on the
Ricky
that award show.
Or oh yeah, that Ricky Snicky was kind of funny, but that stuff. And then now it's used on like everything where it's like someone's just being kind of cringe or they're doing anything like faux pas. It's just like, well, this is their humiliation ritual to get into Hollywood. I'm like, I think they just aren't taking it as seriously, or it's like a joke.
It is, by the way, like a staple of getting in, like not getting into Hollywood, but acting. When you're in acting courses or in like film school and you're or theater and you're training to be an actor, part of it is like they do scenarios where they ask you to go do almost like Fight Club, where they give you homework, like go pick a fight with someone. It's like you need to go be outside your element. There is scenarios where they try to embarrass you in public because it is an embarrassing job to sit there and do some of that shit. But it's to get you comfortable with being embarrassed and being able to work through it.
There's a huge difference between
a huge difference in like
lowering your walls and being like in a satanic
a film student do that shit.
Humiliation ritual.
Yeah. And making John Cena go up naked on the awards stage and be like, oh, this is his ritual to get in. Now he's going to be in.
Yeah, he's already
made it. Like, what kind of ritual is that?
That's the funniest one.
He's at the top of the world.
Is when it's like, oh my God, The Rock just did a I'm like, this guy's like rich as fuck. He's like already.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Brad Pitt.
He is the establishment. What are you talking about?
Like, I even see it on like, the Brad Pitt. I saw like a fucking funny clip from the show Dave.
Brad Pitt humiliation ritual?
Dave is like, honestly, it's a pretty funny show. And the Brad Pitt episode is like one of my favorites, where Brad Pitt is just like completely ingrained in this television show where you wouldn't think he would be. He doesn't do TV.
Yeah.
And then one of the comments is just like humiliation ritual. It's got like 50 likes. I'm like, what the fuck are you like? What the fuck are you? It's Brad Pitt. Like he's there. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like who won't do a humiliation ritual?
Name one movie Brad Pitt can't come into the audition room and just
I am fucking Brad
part.
Pitt. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do the part. Yeah. We'll give it to you. You don't even have to audition.
I'll take a pay cut.
You have to audition to make
Pitt.
sure you didn't. We know you haven't had a stroke on your way over. That's the only reason we're making you read the lines.
Though, if I do something pretty embarrassing, that shit is a humiliation ritual. And I'm doing it to get into TwitchCon parties. And that is for real. If I'm ever cringe, they made me. The devil and the organizations, they made me do that shit, and I would not do that. I just saw I don't know if you saw my.
If there's ever photos surfacing of me at a gun range doing some sort of Hail Hitler salute, that's my humiliation ritual. I'm not saying
Hollywood
I did it.
I'm gonna be
Hollywood
be the
made me do
Avengers, but I had to take a couple risks. They want people in Disney movies to be humiliated. I don't know if you saw my Poob Instagram post the other day, but one of the pictures, it's just like, that shit's my humiliation ritual. It was a picture of me, it was like 6 years ago, and it's just me like doing like a, like kind of a, just look at it. It's like a,
I'm gonna look it up.
It's like a sly smile. And it just says officially tipsy. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Who did I send this to? Like, who am I like trying to impress with this Snapchat? And like, I have like dozens of pictures. Yeah.
With a hat on backwards.
I have like dozens of pictures like that. And every time I see him, I'm like, I don't even recognize this guy. Like, it's like a good reminder though of just like how truly cringe I am as a person, and like how embarrassing I am.
Dude, I'm like, of the opinion it's like I'll say something out of pocket and they're like, oh, it didn't land. Like, I'll get them next time. I like,
that's
like, so
a different
what?
thing. Like, this is not. I didn't send that to try to land. You know, I sent that to like, I had literally just started drinking, and I'm like trying to impress people by being like, hey, I'm a.
I thought you were like,
no,
I thought it was like a joke.
No,
like
no, that was a genuine like. I'm 20 years old, and I'm tipsy, and I'm sending out a Snapchat being like, hey everybody. Look, I'm tipsy. Like, is this cool? My friends have been.
I feel so fucking out of the loop because I never, like, I dropped out of high school and just went internet gremlin mode. I never had like the college arc.
Well,
I never.
My
There
college
was never an
arc
instance
is
where I would do like officially tipsy on Snapchat.
Every year of college for me is like vastly different, and that picture's sophomore year or freshman year. And like it genuinely, like I swear to God, it took me till junior year of college, like the end of it, to be like, holy shit, I might be a person now. Like it was then where I was like, wow, I think like my brain still hadn't developed, you know, that took till like this year, but I was like, oh my God, these Snapchats I'm sending out are humiliating. And the way I act, because I have
well, at least it's Snapchat.
Well, I have another Snapchat where it's like
it disappears, right?
No, dude, because I saved it. I mean, it's not. Yeah, sure, it disappears, but I mean, my Instagram's riddled with it too. But I had one where I'm like, I just took 3 hits off the like a weed pen. Like, oh man, like I'm feeling crazy. Like 3 hits off of, like, goddamn, dude, like that. It's nothing, you know. It's rookie numbers. Yeah. And I'm like, in the picture, I'm like out of my fucking mind high. And I just sent that to like probably 50 people. And I'm like, this is cool. Like I
miss those days.
It was a simpler time.
Where I would take like one drag off a weed pen and I'd be
you mean
set.
that? You mean the elements of low tolerance? Yeah. I'm talking more about the social elements of like, there, not that people were like maybe even more cringe back then, but didn't care as much about you were less self-aware. A lot with a lot I've seen movements of like make Instagram, like Instagram used to be much more casual. Now it's like kind of a, you know, you post, it's very serious. Like when Instagram started out, it was like Facebook where you would just post like anything, you know, and be like, oh, and now it's like a very like curated, like this picture has to be good. It's, you know, all social media used to be a lot more casual and a lot more just like carefree. And so maybe I'm not like, what happened to this cringe kid? Maybe I'm looking at this and going, why am I not this free anymore? Yeah. But really, I do look at it and go, wow, this is cringe. And I don't even want to think about the element of like, oh, maybe he's free.
What's wrong with that, dude? You get 3 wine coolers in you and you go officially tipsy, fellas. Post that on your Snapchat. What's wrong with that?
Look at the guy in that picture. I mean, I don't know. He's just like a tool or a pussy.
The hat backwards? Hell yeah.
This is probably the one time I've ever worn a hat backwards, too.
Well, because I bet you didn't wear it backwards till you went to go take a picture, and then you're like, maybe this is the new me.
Maybe the tipsy me. Maybe I drank a little. I had a White Claw. Yeah, we pop that back, and maybe this is the new cool me.
I get 3 Zimas in me, and all of a sudden I'm hat backwards.
I'm gonna send this to like 10 girls, and they're gonna all think I'm gay, and it's gonna be really odd. I've got wine all around my mouth.
But not future me. Future me that lives in the immaculate house with the hunky.
Weird.
Hunky.
He's not. Listen, he's classically hunky, but he's not. You know, I don't live with him because he's hunky. Yeah. Okay. It's unfair. But yeah.
Old backwards hat Poob was gay, not current.
Both of them were just guys out there trying to have a good time, trying to party. But yeah, I don't know. That picture just really shocked me to my core and made me like. I get one Snapchat like that every week on my Snapchat memories where I'm like, oh my God. A lot of them are like, I get physical reactions from.
Yeah. I forgot Instagram was even a thing because I never consumed it, if that makes sense. Like I never got on there and like looked through Instagram. Never interested me in any way. Yeah. I don't know why.
Because you didn't have any friends or any babes that you were following to look in
Google? Basically. Like I didn't have really any reason to be on there. So I just posted to it and then closed out of it. And I actually, every couple of weeks I get messages from Muscle Bust, and I forget how to find the messages on Instagram. You just swipe to the right, and every like once a year I'll find how to get to the messages again, and I'll just get him. I'll see he's the only person that messages me, and I'll open it up and be like, "Hey, dude, found my messages again." He's just been sending me stuff. I'm like, what a good guy. Like, and every time I go, like, I forget this even exists every time. Like, don't message me on here. Message me anywhere else. But he's relentless. That's his main source. But I forget where. Oh, yeah. When I was dropping you off in Bluntstown.
Yeah.
We stopped for gas in Bristol, which is.
Oh, were you going to talk about
town?
that douchebag bitch?
There was a town with like, let's look up the town of Bristol Pop. Let's see, Bristol, Florida population. It can't be more than like 5,000. It's 917 people.
I was closer. 1,200 was pretty close.
Okay, so the city of Bristol. We stop at the one gas station they have there. I'm pumping gas, and the guy on the other side of the pump is like, he keeps looking at me over the pump. And he's in this big jacked up truck and everything.
Like everyone in that fucking area, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Dude, those grills, those are kid killers. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, they're not. Well, they are kid killers. They just take the fucking head off as they hit them. The bodies are left there, standing up straight in the road. No head.
The bottom of the grill is as tall as a child's head. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks at me and he goes like, "Are you General Sam?" I go like, I'm like, where like I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes like, "Oh, that's crazy, man. Yeah, dude, I used to follow you a lot before you fell off. Anyway, it was great meeting you." And he like got back in his big ass truck and drove away. And I realized what he was like, I pulled you up to make sure it was you. He followed me only on Instagram. And I was like, I forgot that even fucking existed. I pulled it up. Like my last photo was, a couple months ago. And then before that, it was like a year and a half, maybe more. And then I just stopped posting on there. And now
your copium's telling you that's like, this guy's literally just talking about the Instagram.
Yeah, literally. That's all he knows me from his Instagram.
He thinks I'm an Instagram influencer. Yeah. And he's like, what the hell?
Either that or he's a guy that's really into Skyrim, which I met one of those guys that's like, "Oh, I remember I used to watch your Skyrim stuff back in the day." And I'm like, okay, cool. You had like one interest. And then there's a lot of people at range day were like, "You're the Tarkov guy." And I'm like, I'm going to fucking just turn this gun.
Put baby in a corner.
Yeah. Don't fucking relegate me
Those
to
are
one
also,
stupid
too.
Game. And I'm hoping this guy was like a Rust guy, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't fathom what game would Big Truck Guy be into that lives in Bristol. I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly have not, I don't think I've ever seen your Skyrim videos, but there's such they're
not good.
There's such a people bring them up so often.
They're a far sort of cry from my current videos.
But yeah,
they're not.
They're not. People
very
are
good.
So mad that you don't do Sheckelstein anymore. They're always.
Those were funny. I don't give a fuck, dude. Those were people say, "Oh, they're thinly veiled anti-Semitic videos." Okay, you know what?
They're not
fucking
veiled
funny.
at all.
Yeah, they're not. There's not a single veil over those things. Okay, they're just
blatantly anti-Semitic. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen one, but I mean, I guess just saying the name out loud, I can see where a lot of these ideas come from.
Yeah,
but
I was really holding on to my dad's Jewishness to really, and then he got a blood test done, and it turns out he was just adopted by Jewish people and raised Jewish. It's not even really blood Jew, to be honest.
Don't cut that.
Yeah.
Like their penis, right? Yeah, because they do. I don't know. They do that or something.
Yeah, no, there was some guy at a bar in Texas that was like, "Are you actually Jewish?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm circumcised." And he's like, "I am too." I'm like, "Shalom, my brother." Fist pump. And he's like, "I'm not." I'm like, Why are you
circumcised then?
Yeah, why are you fucking hopping on our train, dude? Keep that thing fucking long necked if
Yeah.
you're not part of the club. Okay.
You freak bitch. Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I assume most people there, that would know you would be Tarkov.
Yeah, they're
people.
all a lot. It was like ex-cops, a lot of military dudes, and then Tarkov people. There was a couple ladies. Kyle Rittenhouse was there. He was like their Batman. They love that guy. They were like, our silent, our Dark Knight, our silent protector.
It's like Bruce Wayne if he was a broke little fat idiot. Here you go.
I'm
not joking, but
I was talking. I felt so bad for this guy. I was talking to this dude that had obviously a clearance, like a security clearance with the military. And I was like, oh, like what? Like I just found some shade, a table in the shade under some fucking hog brambles or whatever in the corner. And I was sitting there and there was just another guy at the table with his brother. And I was like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you here?
I'm here for I have military clearance.
One guy was like, well, I'm like a software developer or whatever. And then the other guy was like, he just looks at his brother and like smiles. He's like, I'm like an analyst. And I'm like, I wasn't born yesterday. That's a fake answer. Like, what the fuck do you do? And he's like, I just got back from overseas. I'm like, military? And he's like, yeah. And I go, probably something to do in Eastern Europe. And he goes, you might say that. I'm probably going to get I might get my house orbital strike just saying this. Yeah. When this hits the airwaves,
they're I'm going to get Predator missile on your house.
They're going to fucking blow me up. He's like, I've been over helping some people circumnavigate GPS jammers that the Russians have been using.
And your fat ass went, are they like Kool-Aid jammers?
Jammers, I love those things. Yeah. The lady just cut me off from water bottles. I would love a Kool-Aid jammer right now.
Oh, well, why don't I go back to your house and you can give me some? You can jam me back at your house. Come on. You got weed? You got a Kool-Aid jammer?
Yeah, you got weed or something? I'll come back with you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're going to like every dude's house. Sorry,
but okay, this guy, by the way, he's like, I'm probing him for like information because I'm super into the war in Ukraine, right? I love watching that shit.
I'm probing the fuck out of this guy.
I'm probing this guy hard, okay? His brother's trying to stop me. I'm saying, no, I'm probing, all right? And he's basically saying like the Russians have like this might be state secrets.
I just wouldn't even like include that and just if you don't know, like
So anyway, okay, now cut back in, and I was like, "Whoa, that's gonna win the war in Ukraine." And then
I was like, "That's gonna win any war ever."
Ever, yeah, very cool. But then I was asking him, I was like, "Dude, the only information I get is from like normal news. Like I listen to NPR." Just fucking normal ass, liberal ass, Subaru driving news.
Yep.
Okay. And they're telling me that everything's going all right in Ukraine and they're going to win and everything. I'm like, what's like your actual scoop on this? Because he's there. He's in it. Yeah. And he's not like like the guy was very apolitical. He's just like, as a person inside the machine.
He's apolitical? Is he? There's
a person that's inside the machine is very less. They're not as inflammatory, you know. Like they're not part of all the.
Tell that to my cousin. Hey, shaboing. But
anyways, I was like, well, what's like the actual situation? Like he's like, it's not good. It's not looking good. He's like, it's a campaign year. Biden doesn't want to piss off people by sending a bunch of shit over there. Western Europe isn't sending any arms over there. Russians are set to gain some serious ground in the next 6 months to a year. Those F-17s that we gifted them, the pilots aren't trained yet. They're not going to be ready yet. And by the time they're ready, they're not even going to be that big of a impact on the battlefield. And then like as he's talking, I'm like, this is the most riveting conversation I've ever had, where I'm like, I'm getting like the inside scoop. I see Kyle Rittenhouse walk by me and I'm like, shut the fuck up, you stupid nerd. You stupid fucking Fed nerd. I gotta go get a picture with Kyle Rittenhouse and tweet it. Like, should I kill him or no? And I get back, I tweet it and I hold it up to the guy. I'm like, is this funny? And the guy's like, I wouldn't tweet that here. He's like, I would not tweet that shit here, dude. There's a lot of people with guns that think this guy's like Batman. Okay, do not fucking tweet that shit. So I waited till we left the gun range.
So you, dude. It's like guys probably mid fucking conversation. Hold on.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh God,
Kyle Rittenhouse. So I go get a picture with him. Okay, we leave, and then I tweet it. And then we show up to a bar. Kyle Rittenhouse is there. But remember, he's like a kid. He's like 21, right?
Yeah, he's like a little tiny boy.
He gets so drunk in 1 hour that they have to like walk him out and get him into an Uber and send him home.
I don't even know how to handle your goddamn alcohol.
We got there at like 8 o'clock. By 8:20, he was out the fucking door, dude. He was gone.
Slander, you shut your fucking mouth. I bet he drank 100 beers. I bet he drank 1,000. He was probably pregame so fucking hard with like 100 chicks. And he probably was like mixing their tit milk with like 100 beers. But he went home early. No.
Yeah, and then the rest of the night I hung out with Sniping Soup and Ethan, and their editor guy that was like, but Soup and Ethan are very cool.
Nice.
Cool guys.
And
very funny.
So they're part of the goon squad?
Yeah, they're very much there. Like they're sipping beers like, what the fuck is up with some of these people, dude? Like Soup is just like in a metal band and he's just like, I came here to shoot guns. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah. He's a funny ass guy.
I know him from Rust days because I remember Bumbo and him I think knew each other.
Yeah,
and
I don't know how to like. I don't want to say that. Like I even said this when we had him on the podcast, and it still rings true.
That was back when it was just you, though, right?
I think so. No, I think he was on with you. No. It was just me and him.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met him.
I have met him in some capacity in a game and it didn't we didn't click. And then I
better in person.
I said that to him on the podcast. I was like, I'm kind of hoping this is our breakthrough because you see his videos. He's very funny. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's right up my alley in terms of his humor.
You know,
and
when you see someone, you're like, it's almost like a parasocial thing, but it's weird when you're also a creator. But you're just like,
this is my guy.
Like assume like we would get along. Yeah.
Yeah, I close my eyes and I imagine us holding hands,
and like becoming best friends, and like
Spartan warriors, maybe
they like you even more than you like them, and like you all hang out forever. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and like we never like hit it off. Huh. You get, it was an open bar there at that bar.
I could be friends with a fish.
Dude, you get fucking 5 or 6 beers in me. Me and Soup were having a great fucking time.
You guys were hanging out, tickling Kyle Rittenhouse.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I actually, I was having a great time with Soup, but I also made a complete ass out of myself multiple times there. I was... Me? Can you believe it?
What, were you like too drunk or what?
Yeah, that's...
Ooh,
I think so. No, Cody
chill.
was... Yeah, Cody,
I'm not
donut operator.
with this guy directly.
He's like he's kind of more stoic than I thought he was going to be.
Who's Cody?
Donut operator.
Oh, okay.
He's very quiet. You can tell he's kind of shy. And he was like, I was talking to him, and then I left to go get a drink. And I come back, and he's like talking to someone, and it looked like he was like sad. And I was like, oh, come on, man, you need to cheer up. And I go, Gucci. I try to like tickle him. He's not feeling it. And then there's
you know what though? If you
there's
can't
nothing
laugh
worse than
at a tickle,
Dude, half of the shit I do, I just do it for me. I'm like, if I laugh, then fucking so be it. If he's just gonna straight face get tickled, then fuck him. All right.
That's awful. I mean I'd probably kill myself if I did that, but okay.
And then there was like 2 women that were there.
And you tickled them too?
In a sea of like dudes. It was just dudes. And so like imagine you're a woman in that environment.
And there's
surrounded by a bunch of
males.
It's surrounded by a bunch of QAnon guys. Well, I'm talking to one and she's from Norway. Like she recently came over from Norway. And I just go, oh, that's awesome. Maybe I'll see you in the parking lot later. I don't know why.
What? That is like the creepiest thing a woman could hear.
Which is why I said it.
Oh, yeah.
It was just so like,
yeah,
she was like,
maybe when you get in your car and look in the rear view mirror, you'll see a shadow. Yeah, I might be right behind you with some cheese wire. I don't know.
And then it went over so poorly.
Oh,
I did it to the other woman I met there too.
Why?
Just a little joke for myself.
I mean, listen, I've been there.
I'm not going to do nothing. I'm happily married.
I've been there, but not in that way. I don't think I've ever told a woman, maybe you'll see me in the parking. I don't no.
Because they're in the lion's den.
No,
they're in the lion's den.
And I'm a lion.
Hey, maybe I'll follow you out later to your car.
Oh, well, how'd they react?
Well, everybody there's strapped, so I almost got shot by 12 people.
Hey, bitch, I might kill you later.
Yeah, I might fucking kill you later.
I'm going to grab you. I'm going to take you.
Hey. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm saying you get a couple more free beers than me. I could see.
I wouldn't be around me later. I know I seem
where I could follow you back to your car.
Because I'm thinking about maybe taking you. I don't know. Maybe grabbing you.
Yeah. How much do you weigh?
Yeah, dude.
How much do you weigh? I think I could.
That's one of the worst things I've ever heard someone said out loud to a woman. That's crazy. And twice.
You say that now. Wait until we go to San Diego. I'm bringing Abby, by the way. She's coming with me.
I know. Okay, was she gonna watch this?
I already told her.
No, I know, but like a month ago,
is she gonna watch
a month ago, you were like, "Holy fuck!" Like Abby wants to go to TwitchCon. Like I'm never gonna let that happen. And then when I went to Florida, you're like, Abby's like, "Yeah, I guess I'm going to TwitchCon or whatever." Like, holy shit, that changed pretty quick.
It changed pretty quick. Yeah.
It was probably just her being like, "I'm gonna go." And you're like, "Ah."
Yeah, I was like, all right. Yeah. No, she's like, I just want to go.
I think it would be fun to have her around. She's actually so much more fun and nice than anything I would have expected.
For the audio only listeners, the look of concern on Poop's face.
No, I think that will be
fun. Face scrunches up. trying to work in the what realm, what universe could it be fun?
Keep in mind, I'm not just thinking like for me, like I actually really liked Abby, so I'd like to see her. But now I'm imagining, I'm putting myself in someone else's shoes and thinking about Abby going to a TwitchCon event and just being like, what the fuck is this? This is fucking awful. I bet.
Well, no, you say that, but I think it's going to be great when I go up to the creator lounge and she has to wait at the bottom of the elevator.
Put her with our affiliate friends. Yeah, you fuckers wait down here. We're gonna go up to the partner lounge.
And then I'm gonna go up there, fucking do some blow up in the creators lounge.
That's the worst part.
Come back down
about it being in San Diego is that their creator lounge or their partner lounge fucking sucked compared to the Las Vegas one. I spent 90% of TwitchCon there, up there. Just beautiful balcony.
Oh yeah, that was the one with the big balcony.
Yeah, there's no.
They all kind of run together in my mind.
See, at the San Diego one, it's like the one room that we went in to get donuts and shit at Vegas, and that's it. And also, there's no extra. This is so like pretentious to be like, but there's no extra elevator up where all the people are waiting. Obviously, not for us, but all the people are waiting to be like Ludwig or like take pictures. This year we got an extra elevator up away from them. At San Diego is like they're right outside the room, and you just go into this room, and it's like a regular room. And at Vegas TwitchCon, for any listeners that are like, what's it like up there in the high life in the partner lounge?
Lots of pussy up there.
Yeah, lots of pussy. Actually, that's an awful way to put it, but there's genuinely some, just like the hottest chicks ever. But it's San Diego. It's just kind of like a La Quinta boardroom or something. And then at Vegas, it was like this insane fucking balcony where you could see the sphere and you could see the mountains and you could see all the buildings. And it was really beautiful out there. And I hung out there a lot. It was really nice.
I kind of blocked out that balcony because I remember it being the very beginning of our friendship feud over those Stream Elements bags. That's where that started. And I don't like seeing that part of Devin. I don't like seeing that part of Omid.
Thank God Jimmy and Flutton were up there when that happened, because
it was insane. Like, oh, everybody says Devin's so cool, calm, and collected. Everybody says Omid is so laid back and cool.
People think I'm really chill.
Yeah. And the amount of scrambling that happened, and the way the friendships fell apart.
I'll take one because I know the guy. I know Keith.
Yeah.
From the day before. And also even having a bag though and seeing that you got a better color, and that, I mean, I'll probably still never forgive you you'll never forgive yourself for giving your bag away. I'll never forgive you for when I went, hey man, what about a little side action? We trade bags before you give your bag away, and you went, nah, and just gave your bag to like some fucker, like, I don't know, Devin or Omid or someone. Devin. You just gave
Devin.
Some bitch
I looked at Devin and he was on the verge of tears.
And I didn't even.
He cared so much.
What I don't get is why wouldn't you at least trade me? Because you're already giving your bag away. So why wouldn't you?
Because he seemed like you already had yours. Okay, you already had yours. You already had yours. Okay?
Why wouldn't you? You're giving your bag away.
This is the very beginning of what actually fucking drives me fucking insane.
Devin's
is that he
not even
was
gonna use it.
On the verge of tears. He was crying. He was groveling. He was crawling on the floor. He shit his pants. I remember he shit his pants. And then he was like, please give me the bag. Please, I need it. He gets it. It went into his fucking suitcase, and I don't think he ever fucking looked at it a second time.
And to say that and deny the man before you that just went, hey man, what about we trade bag colors real quick, and then I'll give then you can give it to Devin.
Imagine from my perspective. Look at my perspective. To my left is you going, hey dude, you want to like trade bags before you give it? And then on my right is Devin, shit in his pants, tears going down his face.
What about Omid sitting there going,
crying.
What about me?
Please give it to me.
Also going, what about me? And you gave it to Devin. Because you're still thinking about 300, and you're not gonna even let me trade and let Devin have the inferior color bag. If you hate him so much, give him the worst bag color. Now I'm blessed, but I'm cursed.
You know what I would? If I could go back, if I had a time machine, everybody goes like, if I have a time machine, I'm gonna go back and kill Hitler. I would go back to that time and I would sick my 1,000 Falcons on Devin and watch him get torn to pieces. And I would walk out with my little fanny pack.
You know what I would have done? Because I was the first to grab one. Also, Keith was walking around. I'm like, hey, Keith. Or actually, maybe it was Devin or someone. It doesn't matter. But we're like, hey, come over here. What's up? And he's like, I just got to get rid of these stupid fucking bags. People need these bags. I got to get fucking rid of them. I snatched one immediately. I basically pulled it out of his hands. I'd go back in time and I'd grab the green one instead of the kind of orangish one. Yeah. And then I could turn around and I'd open up my fucking big ass jacket and I'd release 500 at least of my own Falcons, grab Devin and pull him over the edge and maybe tear him towards the sphere. Drop him on top of it, and he's like, there's nothing to grab onto. And he slides down the side and blows up on the ground.
That would be a scary fall.
Yeah. He'd be like, ah, ah! And I'd be like, die, die, die. And my birds would fly me around the city and they'd all
You have your arms out. They would be picking you up by their little.
I would just jump off the balcony and they'd grab me. And I'd be flying around the city. If I
that would hurt so bad. Just a falcon grabbing your
1,000 falcons with their talons grabbing your skin. Oh God.
That's some Hellraiser shit.
Yeah, 1,000 little meat hooks grabbing. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. But they're dispersing the weight enough. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the size of my back, you could probably fit about 2,000 falcons long ways. But yeah. All right.
Anyways, that was a good time in Texas. Had fun shooting. Some of the periphery characters, not so great. Good riff about Rick Levine randomly for 30 minutes.
Yep.
And I'd say this one's a wrap. It's been like 3 hours.
You guys don't take anything personally. We said, it's come on. It's a parody laws. And
parody laws.
It's parody.
Sure.
It's parody. I had a great time where I was. And on that plane, and
I didn't mention at all like the most normal people out of the entire bunch. I spent most of my time with One Peg and Velian and Frank, and then some lady. I forgot to ask her name. She's some sort of e-girl, or a lady friend, and they were just cool as hell.
Nice.
Yeah. By the way, Frank is like a fucking he's a power lifter. He's like this huge guy. And Velian's like, hey, by the way, Frank's grabbing us some breakfast before the range day. And Frank comes and picks me up in his
Falcon
truck.
Eggs.
I get in the back and he's like, yeah, I got you guys some breakfast. Remember, he's a power lifter. This guy weighs like 300 plus pounds. He's huge.
Break me in half.
It was a brown paper bag with like 20 tacos. Like 20 breakfast burritos. He's like, yeah, I ate like 2, and I was like, dude, I'm stuffed. He's like, there's like 15 left. Like, I'm like, I can't eat that much, dude. Like, what
you Mungo? You fucking eat them, yeah.
He was just like, what the hell?
Met
like
normal people.
It was like a huge sack of. I was impressed. I was like, I've never seen this much. He's like, oh, there's also dipping sauces too. I immediately opened one and spilled it all over his leather seats. Oops, my bad, dog.
Dude, you are a nightmare. You are a dream. Like what's the opposite of a dream guest? A nightmare guest. Like you are a nightmare like house guest. You just break everything and spill everything. Destroy, insult, threaten, smoke.
Smoke all your weed. Hey, I'm gonna meet you out in the parking lot later.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna grab your girlfriend later, and I'm gonna smoke your weed.
Oh, I forgot to mention that the lady from Norway, her boyfriend was right next to her talking to me too.
Dude, at a gun range, I'd be like, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Can I help you, sir?
It was non-threatening. I'm a non-threatening guy. A lady gave me her baby on the plane.
Yeah. Come on. God.
I'm not threatening.
I'm trustworthy.
Yeah, she probably thought I was going to walk her out to her car. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah. I'll be seeing you later.
I got Klean's fucking Reaper glasses on. It's like the end of fucking Silence of the Lambs. I'm feeling her hair in the darkness.
I'll see you in the parking lot. I'm gonna be 10 miles away. God.
Anyways, that's a wrap, guys. We'll see you later.
That's a wrap.